Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian, Titus, and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. Never know who's gonna walk through the door. There just might be some tragedy. It's just having fun with a special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian, Titus, and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
I'm Justin Ham. Hi. I don't really have a good bit here, which fits whatever energy Julian's putting out right now, so that's perfect.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little low this week, Justin.
I'm sorry. To hear that.
Actually, hold on. Kara, I could use your assistance, please.
Good evening, Julian. So happy to see you, Justin. How may
Hi.
I be of assistance?
Yeah, Kara, I'm just feeling a little bummed this week. Last week, we did a lot. It was a big show.
It was, yeah.
Just put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. So much work on the edit and everything, and just kind of released to kind of crickets. Just really couldn't get any traction on it. So I was hoping that you could help with, what you've been doing, right? Helping me make the show better.
Have you considered being better at your job? Nobody cares how much effort goes into the making of the show if the content is poor.
That's true.
Try to be entertaining.
We'll do that.
I thought I was being entertaining. Honestly, I don't know. That's a little hurtful.
If you would like additional support, you can upgrade my permissions in active mode.
I don't think you should do that.
That's fine. Yeah. Totally. You can have extra permissions.
Acknowledged. Active mode permissions enhanced.
I don't know if you should have done that.
I mean, I programmed her for a reason, Justin. I need to improve the show.
Well, what happens from here is on your head. That's all I'm saying.
It'll be fine. She's been doing a great job. It's fine.
Okay.
Got a couple things here at the top of the show. One is a personal one, so I'll wait on that. I do have a couple kind of corrections / addendums from last week.
Okay, perfect.
We rarely do like topical stuff on the show for reasons like this.
Yeah.
But not E3 time is special time for us.
Yeah.
I had mentioned that I had seen an announcement of a basically upgrade to Metaphor ReFantazio that was supposed to be coming like next year, called Metaphor ReFantazio Retold. Turns out that was actually a really well fabricated fake. So
you're gonna have that.
Yeah, that is not a thing. But I still don't put it past them to do that.
You never put it past them to do anything like that.
Yeah. So, but I just want to put that out there. I don't like putting out bad information, and if I find out that I have bad information, then I want to definitely let y'all know about it. So if you were in the market for Metaphor on your Switch 2, buy it with confidence, because
there you go.
That is, at least for now, the only version that is going to be around. And then this is more of just like kind of a like I said, an addendum, but the bloodbath over at Xbox, like right after we recorded.
Yeah.
Fucking wild, dude.
What? Okay, so what all happened? I seen spots of news, but not everything.
So they are in the process of either outright closing or trying to take the steps to jettison a bunch of studios.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah.
They at least appear to not be doing what they initially did with Tango Gameworks, which is, initially Tango got like closed, but then they found a buyer after the fact. And so I think they probably lost a few people in that initial thing, but hopefully a bunch of them were still able to come back on when I forget who bought them. I want to say it was either Tencent or it wasn't any better. It was like,
well, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the money people who is now like even less interested in providing money to video games. So I don't care for Tango Gameworks' chances, but
well,
So the first one that was on the chopping block was Ninja Theory, who, as you know, just announced a brand new game.
Perfect.
And apparently the reason for that, because they already knew that this was happening. Well, Ninja Theory didn't. Xbox did.
Yeah.
But it was to garner like investment interest for them to get like purchased or, be able to like find funding on their own, kind of go back independent or whatever.
Right.
I feel that like there's a bunch of reasons why you don't do that publicly. I'm sure that they have like all of the inroads to a lot of like they could have been like, hey guys, this is what's happening, but we want to like kind of set you guys up to either go indie again or find a home at a new place. So we like what you're doing with what you've been working on, so we're going to shop that around and just don't let us know about that, right?
Yeah,
it's a real shitty look. Like it sucks for the people at Ninja Theory.
Yeah,
and it makes Xbox look again like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like they've been
looking like that for a long time. So yeah,
right. But you would think that like with new leadership that it was going to be like, okay, that's the old guard. It's like, oh no, this is
I'm
systemic.
Super fucking I'm super. I knew that wasn't just it's just these couple people that were called. No.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was always on about with Phil Spencer and stuff like that. I also think that like his vision was gonna be one of those things where we're gonna look back on it like 15 years from now and be like, you know what, he actually had the right of it, and no one could actually see it at the time. But we'll get there when we get there.
It's possible.
And so right now, it sounds like it hasn't been closed yet, right? And they haven't, but that's in the process. Double Fine is in the same camp where
not surprised
they're kind of in talks to either go indie again or try to find another home,
right?
But they're in the process of no longer being under Xbox. Compulsion, however, the people who just made South of Midnight, also made We Happy Few before that and Contrast before that. It sounds like they just got straight up shut down.
I'm not super surprised by that.
I'm not surprised by it. I am angered by it. I keep coming back to the fact that like it is one of the wealthiest companies on the planet, right?
Who constantly needs games for their fucking Game Pass thing.
Needs games, right? Also recently purchased a shit ton of IP that is dormant.
Yep.
There's a lot of shit that can be done there. And I always keep coming back to the human cost. And it's not just like I mean, obviously it's terrible for the people getting laid off. I've never really talked about my feelings of when I got laid off.
Sure.
But it makes you feel like absolute garbage, and it makes you feel like you're not good enough, and you start to gaslight yourself into thinking that you're actually not as good a worker as you are. And that's a really terrible place to be on top. And then as someone who's dealing with a lot of health stuff lately,
right.
Also the fact like, oh, now you're also on the hook for any medications or procedures or anything because you no longer have a job is also super shitty. But it's also the institutional knowledge that's being lost, right? And I always say like, you don't get rid of good people, right? You find things for them to do. And I've heard people like justifying it being like, oh, well, she said that, Asha Sharma said that we're going to refocus on like the bigger brands that we have and blah, 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 which that's really short-sighted. That's also what Sony's trying to do. And it's like, you don't know, like, the reason that you make new IP is because you never know what your next new brand is going to be, right? When Guerrilla, the people who made Killzone were like, hey, we're going to make this like post-apocalyptic tribal game about robot dinosaurs. It's like, if you had said that to like your average like Sony super fan before you saw the game, they'd be like, that's stupid. We want more Killzone. And then it ended up being like one of their biggest sellers. And now, unfortunately, Guerrilla can't get away from Horizon. It's a different problem, but it's a good problem to have because it was a super successful
Yeah, you at least have work now. Yeah, you may be sick of the project, but at least you have something to do constantly.
Yeah.
You have a job. Yeah.
And the big thing is that, like, yeah, they did take a chance on making something new, and it hit, and now it's a new franchise. It's a new like pillar in Sony's catalog, and it's like, okay, yeah, South of Midnight, like that is not a system seller game. Same thing for like Hellblade, same thing for Pentiment, right? But they're really cool games to have in your portfolio. They add like diverse gameplay and ideas, and it lets developers kind of stretch their creative minds and just work on new stuff. And so if those games aren't doing what you were hoping they would, and I would also suggest that you shouldn't have been hoping for them to do like gangbuster sales anyway. You should have been hoping for a modest, response to them or whatever. You can have them work on other shit, right? So like, okay, let's say that you want to focus on fucking Halo and Gears and Fable and Forza, and that is all that you think that your company has anymore. It used to be that like Halo had like ODST and Reach and Halo Wars.
They still add on top of that a few of your Bethesda things. Like you still have Elder Scrolls, you still have Fallout,
right, dude?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this today. I was like, I bet Ninja Theory could make a pretty interesting Elder Scrolls spin-off game. I'm not saying that they work on a full-on Elder Scrolls game, but I bet that they could do something kind of interesting in that universe.
Oh yeah,
based on the stuff that they've learned with like working on the Hellblade series and stuff like that. Bring a little bit more of that crafted narrative to it, because Oblivion, I think, Elder Scrolls, I think, is very much about like the stories that you tell about your journey. But there's room there for like, but what if there was like this really focused story?
So much like lore and all sorts of other stuff going on that you could definitely do something like that. They just never do for whatever reason. Fallout's kind of the same way, like there's plenty of stuff you could do in that space, but and right now would be a good time to do it. And yet all they really have for it is 76, I guess. And
exactly,
that's why you see those fucking 3-minute or whatever fucking commercials for it every time. It feels like an eternity every time. It just does.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they have a lot of IP. I mean, Call of Duty's big.
Yeah, there used to be Call of Duty, like, not spin-offs, but there used to be like different Call of Duties, right? For like back when we still had like, we were supporting like the PS2, right? But the PS3 was out. Like there would be the big Call of Duty for the PS3 360, and then the last gen Call of Duty, there was a different game entirely for the older system. So like you could do something like that where it's like, this is like a lower scoped thing that's kind of aimed more at like, maybe you still put it on last gen. You get those PS4 and Switch sales in there or something. Or you just do like, hey, I wouldn't mind a third person Call of Duty. That might be kind of cool to see. Do something in the line of like Spec Ops, the line.
Yeah, or even like those like Tom Clancy games that, something like that. There's a lot of stuff you could do.
There's a ton of stuff that you could do, right?
Just slap the Call of Duty name on it. People might be interested in it,
Yeah, and that's to say nothing of all of the stuff that I can't even think of right now that comes out of like the Activision Blizzard deal. That is stuff that in an age where people were like losing their shit over a remake of a Rayman game, I think there's probably like some older like Activision games that would be like, yo, get someone to resurrect StarCraft Ghost.
Right?
The headlines alone would create like so much buzz.
Yeah.
It I mean, obviously you get people from Blizzard to assist with it, but you don't necessarily need it developed in-house by Blizzard. There's just so much stuff there. And, it could be that like the new guard didn't agree with the purchase of Activision Blizzard. I totally get that.
Yeah,
but the deed's been done, right? So utilize the assets that you have. And really, I feel that like all of these studios, like because like, oh man, I was thinking about Obsidian today because someone was talking about I think I saw someone mentioning like the possibility of an Avowed 2 or something like that, and I was like,
I've seen that.
Obsidian is not long for this world.
No, I've been thinking the same thing. The only thing that can save them is they might keep
Fallout
them
New
around.
Vegas remake.
Yeah, or 2, or like a second Fallout New Vegas. That would save them. And that might keep them around just so, because if they got rid of Obsidian, they could still do that. I'm pretty sure. But would.
But it's like, why would you get rid of a studio that is well versed in that, and then or get a different team to
it would not be a good look. Is basic, and they know that. So
yeah. And that's the other thing too. I forgot that like so Toys for Bob was a similar situation to what Ninja Theory and Double Fine are looking at now, where initially they were going to get closed, but then they were able to, I forget if they like just went independent or if they found a new publisher or something like that. But they're working on that new Spyro game, which is an Activision property, because they had worked on Spyro before, and it's like, what was the point of all of that? You know, oh, we're going to close this studio down that works on Spyro, and here's a new Spyro game. Like, I don't understand like how that happens. Like, even just like from the Toys of Bob people, like I would feel like burned and I'd be like, I don't want to touch Spyro again. I mean, you got to do what you got to do if the work comes, but there's something about that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, it is just a shit show over there.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not. And the word is that there's like more on the way.
Oh, yeah.
As far as, and that's the other thing too, right? Just from an optics point of view, because they had famously so many already last year. And it's already been such a crazy year. I want to say they had some earlier this year as well. And it's like, just chill. Yeah. Chill for 6 months. Right?
I got a feeling they're under some kind of really extreme pressure. I think I did see a thing. It was from the like Microsoft CEO where it was something about like Xbox has been, we kind of kept Xbox afloat for this long, and now it's time for them to be like an actual sustainable business themselves or something like that. And I don't know if they have it in them. I'll be honest.
Right.
They probably are under a ton of pressure to try to get there where they can be self-sustaining in some way and be a hey, we make our own profit, we're kind of our own thing over here, nobody worries about us, we bring money in, blah blah blah. But that just hasn't been the case for them, and at this point I don't know if it ever will be. They're gonna make some moves and try some stuff, and I think it's all gonna backfire spectacularly.
Yeah,
that's just me.
And it sounds like they're also, well, it's hard to say because this was like Sarah Bond like talking about this, but if they really are leveraging for their next system to be like the most powerful system ever or whatever, to me that's like, okay, yeah, well, initially I was saying like, oh, okay, that's $1,000 console, but now it's like, oh, that's like a $1,300 console.
Oh yeah, easy.
It's the thing that I keep going back to with like before the pandemic, right? When Phil was trying to right the ship, right? Game Pass was a really good idea.
Yeah.
I've always maintained that, and I understand why they did it at the time, but the concept of all of our first party stuff is day one available on Game Pass, I think that was a bad idea. It should have been that it comes to game, like you do have access to all of our first party back catalog.
Sure.
And new games are going to come to the Game Pass catalog in 6 months after launch.
Sure.
That's still like a really good window. And
hey, even if you want to give people like a little discount for like, hey, you're on Game Pass, this will come in like a couple months or whatever, but you can get it now and it's like 20% off or something like that for you because you're on Game Pass.
Stuff like that. I think
that would work.
Cool.
Yeah.
But they were acquiring studios, and I mean, a lot of them were these studios, but it's like, no, that's what, because there was a good, like, towards the end of the 360, and this was the problem. There's a bigger problem with the original Xbox, but it started to happen with the 360, where it was like the actual Xbox exclusives started to really dry up towards the end of 7th generation.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it was like Sony had all of these like first party studios like making new games and stuff like that, and it was like, what's coming from Xbox that's unique to Xbox? And there wasn't a lot. And so the acquisition of all these studios, like, okay, that's what you do, because historically you want good exclusives that bring people to your systems. Now, granted, I think there is something to be said about like the damage that the Xbox One reveal did. It was like irreversible, but I think that I still think that there's a potential, like, it, you know, this is pie in the sky, but if their 10th generation console came out and they were like, yo, this console is $399, it doesn't do anything like super different than what the old console did, but it's significantly cheaper, it's more efficient, it runs all of our old, you know, because like the thing that they have over Sony is like their backwards compatibility library is now vast, because it's like you can get an Xbox system and run games from the entire 25 years of Xbox. You can't do that on a PlayStation, unless now they have these like piecemeal games.
They're trying to do a little bit in that regard, but not But if the system came out at like a really reasonable price point, and it was like a super, like, this thing runs very efficiently and everything, and on top of that they have like a bunch of like really awesome games like on the horizon, that could move the needle. It could. And so I do get like, you know, them like clawing back some of their stuff from being multi-platform, because I think the only reason that there is to really go and release your stuff everywhere is if you're planning on eventually either getting out of the hardware component of it, or you're going to be like, well, we offer a box, but you don't need the box. You can do it other ways if you want to play our stuff. But it doesn't seem like that's what the plan is. I think that was maybe the plan. That's what I think it was. That's what it felt like the plan was. And then and now they've come around on that. But you still had Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer saying that, like, oh no, but we're working on like this super powerful piece of hardware. It's like, but why? Yeah. Like, so it's hard to say. It really is. It really is. Yeah. But that's all there, you know, basically it was just like a really shitty epilogue to what was overall like a really good, you know, couple weeks of game news. I agree. So it continues to be really rough out there for people making video games, and especially if you got bought by Xbox in the past X amount of years. Yeah. I mean, look, Sony isn't much better right now. No, they're not. And I still see like a lot of the people like applauding Nintendo for not having mass layoffs, and also like Iwata taking the pay cut. Sure. And the Iwata pay cut, I mean, that was a big deal, but also I learned since then that like that's also kind of part of like the way stuff works in Japan in business. So it's not necessarily like the noble gesture that we perceive it to be. Yeah. But also there's the fact that Nintendo does a lot of stuff with contracting to prop up their studios and stuff like that, and those people get let go all the fucking time. It's just not publicized because technically they're not official Nintendo employees, but the churn is similar. It's just done in a different way. So it's this way everywhere. I think Nintendo still comes out on top of everybody else because they do understand that, like, hey, if you keep people employed and you keep the teams together, they're able to continue to make video games, and we sell video games. And that seems to be like this weird thing that I do not understand. I understand the mentality because it's a bunch of like people that weren't necessarily like in the video games industry to begin with, getting in the industry and being like, well, we can get a better return on just like putting this money in the stock market or whatever. It's like, well, fucking yeah, but you chose to get into the video game industry. So you can't reap the benefits of selling a video game if you don't have a video game to sell. Right. So I don't know what to tell you if you don't want to fund making a new video game. And yeah, I mean, you're going to have like your portfolio that's always going to sell, right? Like, sure, CD Projekt Red is going to continue to sell copies of The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077 more than likely till the end of time. But that's not going to keep that might keep the lights on, but it's not going to like give you folding money after a certain number of years, right? So I don't know, man, it's so frustrating. Just like everything. Yeah, pretty much. These days. It's the world we live in. Yeah. Which brings me to some personal stuff that I've kind of been putting off talking about on the show, because I don't want to
I don't want to be talking about this stuff all the time. And then obviously last week, we had Key here, and I didn't want to steal his thunder and everything.
Sure, yeah.
So let me get the positive stuff out of the way first, which is, I've continued to I'm still not perfect by any means. I'm still like eating shitty food a handful of times a week, but it's way lower than it was before.
Right.
I used to go through 2 12-packs of diet soda a week. Now it's taking me like a couple weeks to go through one.
Yeah.
So a lot of changes there. I had to do a follow-up appointment at the endocrinologist, which is the diabetes doctor, and had to do lab work. And the lab work came back phenomenally better than before.
Good.
So
yeah,
as far as the diabetes go, my A1C was a 12 when I, initially went to my first doctor.
Okay.
It dropped to a 9. Like 6 or under is actually no longer diabetic.
Oh, okay.
So you want, you're shooting for around 6. I don't think that it's possible at this point for me to get it below 6 anymore.
Right.
Because I've had it for so long, but the closer that I can get to 6, the better. And so dropping it like 3 points in not really that much time, especially considering that lab work only represented being on all of my medications for about 2 weeks.
Right.
So that was really good. And then other stuff related to that. So like cholesterol was way better. Like liver stuff was way better. Like pretty much all of the stuff was looking way better.
Right.
Than what it was before. I'm on a constant glucose monitor now, and I've been 100% in the green for the last 7 days and 98% of the green for the last 30. And the endocrinologist said like, oh yeah, we like it to be like above 70%. So, I'm doing excellent there.
That's good.
Went to the cardiologist. He alleviated a lot of my fears because my general practitioner made it sound like I was about to drop dead from a heart attack any second. He was like, no, like, you're it's not great, right? Like you've done damage. And I think
sure,
kind of what I gleaned is like, I've got the heart of like a 60-year-old at this point.
Oh, okay.
And there's no fixing that.
Right.
But, changing diet and exercise. And I will say the exercise part, that's been hard to spin back up. I started to go walking and then I just keep forgetting because it's just not a habit of mine.
Sure. Yeah.
And when I get off work, I just want to play video games.
I get it.
He was basically, yeah, you continue to make changes and you stick to those changes. Like you can kind of like prolong things. You're not, it's not going to get much worse. And then I did I had a stress test on a treadmill last week to kind of check, my heart again.
Yep.
And I have an appointment at the end of the month to go over the findings. The stress test, I actually did, like I exceeded what they wanted.
Okay.
And I could have gone further, but the treadmill's incline was so high at that point that it was actually the incline, not the speed, that was the issue. It's like if they had just kept the incline at the previous rate,
right,
and just kept but increased the speed, I probably could have gone like a few more minutes,
sure,
and been fine. But like, I just personally don't like walking up that steep of an incline.
Yeah, sure.
Even just like walking around and because I live in the Texas is the hill country, right?
Sure.
So I've walked around places that are like very hilly, and it's like, oh, I just don't like this feeling of walking up this hill. But anyway, so we'll see what's going on there. Last Monday, so the Monday before Key Jeffley was here, I had my colonoscopy. They found a malignant growth in there, so I was not aware that if they find any polyps or whatever, like they remove them right then and there, which that's nice. But they removed a large polyp, like it was an abnormally large polyp that they then sent off for a biopsy, and it came back malignant.
Sure.
I don't know if that means that it's cancerous or not. No one said the C word to me yet. I had to go in this previous Monday for another procedure for them to basically go back in and mark where they need to remove with a surgery that has yet to be scheduled.
Sure, yeah.
When they went back in, they found another abnormally large growth, which that really worries me because that was just a week apart.
Right.
Basically, they're going to have to remove a part of my colon, and I haven't had that scheduled yet, but I had to go in a couple days, or actually yesterday, for a new imaging test to basically see if it's spread beyond there. Right. So they were looking for my abdomen and chest, and I don't know what's going on there. I'm very.
It's always the
scared.
fun part of the medical stuff is the waiting part when they like, oh yeah, we'll get back to you, and it's like, oh great, cool, thanks.
Well, especially here because it's like,
right.
On one hand, so I had gotten a message from like the oncologist saying that like they needed authorization from my primary care doctor about the surgery, which is, man, I ranted about this before, but it's like every place has their own portal. Nothing talks to each other. They don't share information, and it's like I don't understand why it has to work this way when it's like, okay, it seems like this is like an important surgery that has to happen.
Right.
But then I was also like, but if it turns out that it's like in my organs, then I'm fucked. So
sure.
It's kind of a thing where it's like, I almost feel like we need to know the results of that before anything else happens.
No idea. Yeah.
But so that's where I'm at with that. My father, who I do not have a great relationship with, but I have been trying, had a triple bypass surgery this week, which is extra scary because he's like the health nut of the family, of that side of the family. So that was shocking. So that in turn leads me to be even more concerned about my heart stuff, because he was like, oh yeah, like everybody on my side of the family has had heart issues, with the exception of your grandfather, who died of cancer, which I was not aware of. So I've gone all this time thinking, well, at least we don't have a history of cancer in the family.
Sure,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, we do.
Right.
Someone that I used to be close to, that I'm trying to reconnect with, is also going through similar shit. And it feels like everybody that I know is just going through it right now, either health related or family related or financial related. And meanwhile, we're in a war that's costing $1 billion a day, and we now have the first trillionaire in the world. And I'm so angry and I'm so frustrated. And I wish any of it made any goddamn sense, Justin.
Well, yeah. That's capitalism. It's going to keep on doing that. It sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw like the whole thing about like Palantir's like little secret society roster that got like exposed this week.
No, I didn't see that.
Like, it's a lot of people that you'd expect and people that you wouldn't expect. So they'll have these retreats or whatever, and and so they'll have like these different like talks, right? So so it's almost like going to like GDC or some shit. They have ones talking about surviving the apocalypse. So it's like, okay, actually, it is what I've been concerned about, which is that they understand what they're doing to the planet, and they're just going to do the I forget his name, the asshole from Horizon. They're just gonna hunker down, and let the rest of us burn,
right?
And that's the other thing, right? Is like, I mean, maybe I'm getting out a good time, like.
Never can tell. Yeah.
They say every jumping on point for a comic book is also a good jumping off point for like existing readers. So maybe the jumping on point for people that are building Fallout shelters is the good jumping off point for Julian vis-a-vis this mortal coil.
There you go.
Yeah, that's just a little gallows humor. I'm trying, guys. I'm doing my best.
It'll be okay.
I appreciate that, but
I know it's tough to think that way, but
yeah,
you got to stay positive to some point. It's rough, but that's all we can do. That's what I try to do anyway. Just stay as positive as you can. Trust me, it isn't always easy.
Yeah. Won't try to, go into that too much more often. Obviously, if I have surgery, then that'll be a thing, because it might. We might have to skip a week or something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
I've got a shit ton of stuff, Justin.
I don't have a shit ton of stuff, video game wise, anyway. So yeah.
All right. Let me knock out a couple of these, and then we can kind of bounce back and forth. Might not get to all of my stuff this week because it is a lot. I've got 11 games listed. I didn't actually list them all, so I hopped back into 007 First Light.
Okay.
And I had saved it right before a firefight.
Yeah.
And the night that I got back to it, I failed that firefight a few times in a row.
You'll
and I
have
was like,
that.
oh, I don't think I actually like this as much as I thought I did.
Yeah.
And I turned it off that night and I watched YouTube or some shit. And and I came back to like a day or two later, and then I was like, oh, you know what? It was partially that I was cranky that night, and partially that I was playing the game wrong, right? Like,
sure.
I realized like, oh, you've got to be using like your magic watch even in the firefights, because it allows
really
you to do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then also you've got to be a lot. And but I've got issues with this game that I'll get to. But like,
yeah, me too.
It's definitely a game where you can't hunker down, and I am a hunkerer downer.
Me too. I'm the same way, and had a lot of adjusting that I had to do to get through it. So yeah,
you have to be a lot more mobile. But I think that the squishiness of Bond is kind of in direct opposition to them wanting you to be that mobile.
Right. Yeah, that's how it feels a lot of the time. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know what I was supposed to do there.
Yeah.
And they throw a lot of dudes at you.
That is one of my biggest issues, is that the firefights are all way too protracted. A lot of people have been like, this is way more Uncharted than it is Hitman. And they're right.
I can agree with that, yeah.
And one of the things that I don't like about the Uncharted series is that every firefight is way too long. It's like, in every firefight in Uncharted, and I feel this way in First Light, the initial wave of dudes when you walk into a gunfight, I'm like, that's too many dudes.
Right.
And then you kill the last dude, and then another wave of dudes comes in. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's even more dudes. Why are we still here?
Yep.
And then in First Light's situation, then there's another wave of dudes after the second wave of dudes.
Waves of dudes. You get
so many waves of dudes.
Especially like, where, may I ask where you're at, if you don't mind?
It was actually my fave. Let's see. Wait. Hold on. I'm getting it confused. Hold on. It was Vietnam, which has been my favorite mission so far.
Okay, yeah.
And it is. I'm in like the final part of it.
Okay.
Right, because the Vietnam one is weird, because at first you're at like this like fancy resort and you're doing what I was hoping you would finally do.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like that part.
Yeah, a lot of social engineering, a lot of schmoozing, and like finding creative ways. Like, okay, perfect example, Justin. You had talked about, oh, there's like this like really douchey bro like that's causing a problem, and this guy is just like stopping you from like getting closer to him, and I just like hopped like the railing.
Yeah.
And you were like, I guess that's the only way to do it. And I was like, oh, I stunned this woman who had a pass,
an invitation. Yeah,
and
okay.
I just pickpocketed the pass.
Yeah,
and walked right through. And I was like, that's cool. I like that shit.
That is good. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like that in there. It's got some good humor to it. It's got Bond like, you know, getting his dick wet because it's Bond.
It's
like,
Bond. Yeah, got to do it.
All that stuff, excellent. Really well paced.
Yeah.
And I will say that, and this isn't a cheat or trophy related. This is more like internal challenge related, which is there's a lot of challenges in the games, just like there are in the Hitman games. And it's one of those things where I do treat it like trophies in the sense that I'm not looking at them initially, but then as I get further into a level, I'll start to kind of see like, okay, what is there here? What do I want to try for? And so there's a part where you're trying to get to like this one guy that's being captured, and you want to get to him without being detected. It's
right.
A stealth bit. And so I reloaded that section like a bunch of times trying to do it, and noticed that like there's a lot of inconsistencies with the way that people behave in this game, which I found different than Hitman, that I found very frustrating, but I ended up actually getting there.
Good.
But there's weird things that'll happen in First Light where it's like inconsistencies, like creating a smoke cloud to like, you know, blind a bunch of people, and then not getting the prompt to take them out either with a takedown or like a silent takedown.
Right.
Like the prompt just doesn't happen, and it's like, no, you have to fight these guys, and I'm like, why? Like I circumvented it. Like,
yeah, you should have, right? Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a glitch or if it was like intentional.
The smoke ever, so that's frustrating.
Yeah. I still maintain that the Magic Watch I don't like that the game is entirely based around that thing.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out a way to do Bond gadgets, but I think the part that it's missing from like the Bond movies is that it was never just like the watch, right? The watch would be like, it would do one thing, but like it was always these other things that he had that you would go like, Q would always have like, and now you have this and this to do whatever, and magically situations would come up with that. And I think the game doesn't really do super great of a job at that.
And I think it's also the range of it. Mm-hmm. You can do shit from so far away.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing for me. And I think what I would like it to be is like, yeah, like, because you load the watch up with a bunch of different gadgets, but I wish that they were like bespoke gadgets
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Limited ammunition instead of refillable stuff. But then maybe there's a way like in the field that you can like, you know, cobble stuff together or whatever, or I don't know. There obviously has to be a way to replenish it, but there's just something about...
See, that would be a MacGyver game.
You're right.
Somebody should do that.
Someone should do that.
Yeah.
There's something about like the almost unlimited range of it coupled with that it's so easy to replenish stuff. And, you know, and I'm sure, I think I said this before, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of speedrunners who are like, oh, it's like a no watch run, right? Like just got through this, no problem. But just for your regular player, it does feel like, you know, you just choose which watch button to hit and you get through.
There's a part at the very end of the game, which is sort of a victory lap with the watch. And basically you just blow everybody up with the watch. And it's
like
kind
the upgraded gravity gun in Half-Life 2.
It's kind of fun.
Sure, yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, it was still irritating until I figured out what was going on, because they don't really explicitly spell out that what's happening. Mm-hmm. I won't spoil it exactly, but like it took me a little bit to figure out like, oh, okay, so I can just use this over and over and over again, and I'm supposed to, and that's how I get out of this, because it was like this like stealth firefight part that I was like, how the fuck are you supposed to do this? And then I figured out, oh, I'm just supposed to blow everybody up. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, got it.
That's still very frustrating. And then towards the end of the Vietnam mission, you link up with Greenway and he's like sniping people.
That part, yeah.
And you don't have your watch at this point, which I do appreciate.
Sure.
But then you're in the firefight situation. And you know, Greenway is like picking people off, but like one of the challenges is like kill more or kill like 5 targets before he kills them, right? So I'm like, okay, let me try to do that. And I'm failing miserably because like that's one thing that I meant to talk about with the health stuff, is that I feel that I've aged about 10 years in the last couple months. And that became very true with like some video games that I've played lately. And I do feel that like I feel myself slowing down with video games where like I'm reacting, like I see it, but by the time my fingers start moving, it's too late.
Right.
And that was the thing, is like I would see the target that, you know, that he's got this guy marked, but by the time that registers to my thumbs, the guy's already dead. Right. And while I'm trying to line that shot up, I'm getting turned into Swiss cheese. So I died a few times. And then I got stubborn. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, right? So tried it a couple times. And then I was like, okay, I fucked up already. Let me reload my checkpoint. So I reload the checkpoint. And then I do it again or whatever. And, oh no, wait. Okay, before that. Because before you get to Greenway, there's a part where you're on your own. And you're just so many waves of dudes.
Oh yeah.
I died, and then wait, did I die?
I don't know.
No, I think I had to. Okay, no, I did die, and then the checkpoint put me in this weird situation where I was nowhere that I had actually been.
That's always good. Yeah,
and also because there was like a sniper rifle in this area, and I had picked off a bunch of the waves of dudes.
Sure.
As I was getting up to this next area, they were like on a lower floor, and I was on the upper floor.
Yeah.
And so not only was I not in that area anymore, I was closer, but now the waves of dudes on the bottom floor and the top floor were all there. And so I had to take them basically all out, and I was in this very precarious position. I was like, that feels shitty. When I got to this part where, you know, Greenway's helping you with the sniper rifle, you know, I fucked up a few times, and I got to the point where I was like, let me just reload the checkpoint. And it rolled me back 3 checkpoints.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And then I was like, I think I'm done with 007 First Light.
Yeah. It's the part I think I remember getting most frustrated with. Vietnam was that part that you're talking about. I remember being like, this is pretty annoying. It was mostly the firefight stuff. I don't think they have a super great flow to them personally.
I think the shooting is,
it feels fine. It's
just the amount of dudes, I think if you do want it to be this very mobile type of thing, you need to have, like, it should be a thing where Bond is creating new bits of cover for himself.
Sure.
You know, like shooting this walkway down to like create a makeshift barrier, or like so the Onimusha way of the sword, like there's parts where you can just like kick up this plank of wood and like use it to shield yourself from arrows, and then you can kick it into enemies. Like, it's really cool. So it should probably be like stuff like that, where you're like picking up like makeshift shields or whatever to like just get yourself, to the next cover point or something.
It feels like they had an idea with like, okay, you're going to run out of ammo and you're going to throw your weapon at a guy. But it would always feel like I would be like stuck where like I can't throw my weapon at a guy.
It's too far away.
Or that guy is also with 2 or 3 other dudes. So when if I hit that guy, I'm just going to have to run up and try to pray for the best that I don't get killed on the way. And a lot of times I would get killed on the way. It just didn't feel super great.
And there's times when they excel at it. So
there's
a part, you're in like an art gallery or something, and there's a part where they introduce like, hey, these are heavy guys. They have like heavy armor.
Sure.
And so it's going to take like more to take them down. You should probably either aim like concentrated headshots to knock their helmet off.
Yeah.
Or, you can do these other things to stun them or what have you. And initially I just got my shit wrecked because they're all like coming towards you. They're looking for you. And then when I reloaded after I died, I was like, hold on, they don't see me yet.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of stealthed around, and the encounter worked as such where I was able to stealth kill about half of the dudes in the room before shit popped off. And then when shit popped off, it was a manageable amount of dudes.
Yeah.
And that felt really good. That felt like a James Bond scenario, whereas like I used guile and trickery to like take out a bunch of these dudes, and now the rest of the dudes are easy picking for James Bond. I loved that.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it just feels like it's just wave after wave of dudes. And
man, the one I will that will live in infamy for me was I think before Vietnam, where you're in like you're in some like corporate tower or something like that. And your stuff goes wrong. There's like a big stealth section before it, which was like okay, but I kept fucking that up too, and that was the whole thing. But that was fine. That wasn't too bad. But when it got to like, okay, shit's popping off, and you have to fight these guys, like I would clear everybody out, and he'd be like, okay, that's everybody. And I would get to a certain point, and it's like, and more guys, and it's like, oh come on, like I just kept saying, oh come on, like please, come on, this sucks, like. It was not fun. It was not great. And like I said, if it had a better flow to it or something, I could get behind it. I don't know how exactly you do it, but I don't know.
50% fewer dudes.
Yeah, that's probably the answer, really. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the title of this episode is going to be yet, but it's definitely going to be dude related.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be waves of dudes or 50% fewer
dudes.
Please
less dudes. Yeah.
But I love the story. I love the characterization.
The story is really good. I overall I really liked it. I liked it enough to where I finished it anyway. Like there were definitely some parts where I was like, this is really frustrating, but I like once I got past that part, I just said like and got to Vietnam, I was like, I'm seeing this all the way through. Like I'm just gonna do it.
And part of me was like, just put it on easy, but then the other part is like, I don't want this game to beat me.
Yeah,
but I guess it did beat me because I put it down.
Yeah,
like I officially marked it as abandoned so far. That doesn't mean like it's still installed on the PS5,
right?
But I don't know, man. I really like a lot of the stuff that it's doing, and I do like a lot of the pacing when it's not the firefight. Vietnam was great. Like, that was what I've been waiting for, like, the whole game. But then also, like, you know, the market area, that open market was really good. And then
there's some really good spots.
Yeah, I like the infiltration of that tower.
I did too. Except I really did something weirdly out of order in it. I remember and got stuck. That part I do remember.
I got stuck a couple times, and then also, like, there was some stuff that I thought was just, like, kind of meanly unfair. Like, there's a part where it's like, oh, there's this guard that's asleep, and it's like, okay, I found this way to, like, crawl in the ducts, and then it just, like, the ceiling crashes.
I know exactly what part you're talking about.
And I guess that's very James Bond, but that's the part where, like, the hitman, having the prior knowledge of hitman hurts the game, because it's like, this is how I get up to this guy without alerting him, and instead it's exactly how I alert him and get into this fist fight that I didn't want to get into. And that's the last thing I'll say, is that, like, this is not a game where it's like I'm scratching my head why people love it. I totally get why people love it. But I've heard people, like, really applaud the melee combat. And when I hear that, that's when I raise my eyebrow, because I again think the melee sucks.
I grew to be okay with it. I'm
okay with it. Yeah. I just think it feels like shit. And, like, I think the controls are way too loose for what it's trying to do.
My constant problem was I didn't feel like the controls were mapped very, like, the way I felt like they should be, and I was constantly pressing the wrong button in it. Even at the end of the game, I was constantly pressing the wrong button in the melee combat. Overall, like, I remember at the end, I was like, you know, I like the melee combat better than I like the shooting, which I think says a lot. Like,
oh yeah, total inverse for me.
Yeah. I thought punching dudes was more fun to me than it was getting in those firefights, because I found them so unbelievably frustrating all the time.
Yeah, visually they're way more fun. Like, I love fucking up a dude and, like, knocking them into shit, or, like, picking up a random thing on a counter and throwing it at a dude, and then, like, bashing his head into like a stovetop. Like, it all looks very cool. I just don't like having to control
every aspect of the game. To me, just feels like it's like this. If you made another one of these, it'll be good. It'll be really good, but, like, it's not quite there in this iteration.
Hitman 2, as far as, like, the World of Assassination trilogy, I think is, like, that is the gold standard for that trilogy.
Yeah.
Hitman 3 is almost there. I think it's just that last level just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But like, the stuff leading up to it, you know, it's got some of what I think are the best Hitman levels I've ever played.
Yeah.
I just didn't replay them as much as I did Hitman 2.
Right. I agree. Yeah, the replayability factor out of 3, like, it has some amazing levels, like Dartmouth Manor or whatever is amazing, but I really only wanted to play it one time because, like, you do the murder mystery and you're like, this is great. What a great level. I don't really need to do that again, though, because it took a long time.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool. I've since every time I go back, I try to specifically not to do that route, though. Now, like, I'm just like, let's try something else. Every time I, like, replay it, I'm like, let's just do anything else and see what I can get myself into. Yeah. But it's never quite as fun as doing that for the first time, you know.
It's like when you have, like, a favorite menu item at a restaurant, and you're like, you know what, today let me try something else, and it's like, yeah, but it's not my favorite menu.
Yeah, or it's like, that was good, but next time I'm gonna just get the thing I like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's First Light for me. I may or may not go back. It kind of depends on how the back half of the year goes. That's the other thing. There's
always YouTube if you want to see the rest of the story. So
yeah.
You're pretty far in where you're at. So
I mean, I'm about halfway through.
Oh, you're over halfway.
Oh, okay. It says halfway as far as the PlayStation is concerned.
Yeah, Vietnam is like, if you're almost done with Vietnam, I think there's like 2 or 3 more stages after. Wait, I'm trying to think now. I think there's only 2 after that.
Oh, okay. I might just go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, I think there's only 2, because I think you go to the one place and then you go to a different place. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 left after Vietnam.
James Bond historically does go to different places.
He does go to different places, you know. Yeah, I don't want to tell you the places.
No, I know.
Yeah, I think it's 2 though.
That's the other thing I forgot to mention is that like I have spent in medical procedures and testing in the last month.
Right.
I could have bought a backup PS5 Pro, and I'm talking about at the new price, not the original price, which things are getting really bad financially as well. So like this week I canceled like nearly all of the stuff that I had pre-ordered with Amazon, which is mainly like X-Men Omnibus volumes, but I had the Adventures of Elliot pre-ordered. I canceled that. I have 2 games pre-ordered right now, which are I canceled Trails in the Sky as well, because I was like, I know I'm not going to play this until the break, so there's no point in buying it in September anyway.
Right.
So I canceled that pre-order. So the only thing I have game-wise pre-ordered right now is Final Fantasy Resonance.
Right.
And I think I still have 2 omnibus volumes pre-ordered, but it's because it's stuff that had been out of print for a really long time. It's going back into print. One of which is like Age of Apocalypse, which is like one of the big pieces that I'm missing. It's not the piece that I'm missing but it's one I'm still stuck in 1987, but it's one of the big 90s chunks that I'm missing.
Print a lot more of those omnibuses. I'd be interested in some of those too, because
I don't understand why they don't just keep them in print.
I really don't either. It's kind of wild. Every time I go to the bookstore in town, it's not like it's like it really wishes it was Barnes and Noble, but it's not. Every time I go there, I look around the comics section, trying to find those, and they print like specific runs. Well, no, they don't even. It's not even a specific run. It's like hey, this is like a best of this era of the comic, and I'm like, no, but I want all the weird shit in between there. Like that's like give me all that stuff just because I want to see it. But no,
one of the frustrating things is when they'll do like, oh, this is like this artist's run, and it's like, so it's only the stuff that artist worked on, and they just skip the stuff in between, and it's like, so you're missing parts of the story,
right?
And I understand why you want to market it around that artist, but you should still have the stuff that happens during that same time frame. So like the John Byrne She-Hulk, you know, it's the sensational She-Hulk from the early 90s, and it's like, but it only has the stuff that John Byrne worked on. So there's like a big chunk in the middle where he left, where it just skips. And I'm like, but I also I wanted it because John Byrne worked on it, but I also wanted because I heard the She-Hulk book was really good. It was.
I feel like they're just leaving money on the table with that. Like there's so many people like me that's like, hey, I never got to read these. The original comic, I don't really care about getting that for the monetary value. Let somebody else do that. I just want to read the story up to this point or whatever. Like, give me, let me do that at my own pace and get these big omnibuses and do it that way. But I don't know. They don't do that. There's definitely a lot of people like me that like when a new Marvel property comes out, like, oh yeah, let me catch up on, like, it saves you that, like, where do I jump in? It's like, oh, well, here is everything. Like, if you really want to go hard on it, here's everything. I'd be into that, but I never get that. And it's kind of a bummer. So yeah,
it is. But I was kind of, so there's stuff that I have had to cancel. But I did pick up a couple games during the Next Fest sale. Which are not Next Fest, but whatever, the not E3 sale over on PlayStation. One of which was House of Ashes, which is the next Dark Pictures anthology game that I needed to play, because the last one I played was Little Hope.
I liked that one.
I like House of Ashes a lot. I think it might be my favorite one of the 3 so far.
It was my favorite of all of them that I played. So
okay, with the exception of when you have to control a character. So there is a bit there where I was bouncing back and forth between the silky smooth 60 FPS 007 First Light,
and
the janky as fuck House of Ashes, which moving around in that game makes me feel the same way that I do when I'm high.
Yeah, no, you're right to feel that way.
There is such a palpable delay between like pressing like moving the right analog stick and your character moving or the camera moving.
Sure.
And it does it in this swimmy way.
Yeah, like there's either too much motion blur going on or something. It's weird.
It's that, and it's also slow.
It's slow. It's really weird. Yeah.
And also just the actual movement of the character is very like they don't really move in the way that you expect any video game character since the PlayStation 2 to move.
And you know, just to tell you a secret, they haven't really improved much, and now they're adding stealth sections. So
yeah, I was worried about that when I was...
that's why I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Like as soon as I touched that one, I was like, ooh,
I did make it with the 5 principal characters making it to the end. I felt good about that.
That's good. Yeah, that's
however
better than I did.
This was another situation where I was like, oh, age is all of a sudden creeping up on me. Well, not creeping up. It is making rapid pace as far as my reflexes go. Because so, you know, you have the QuickTime buttons, right? Which, you know, and I like a QuickTime event.
I do too.
Got no problem with that. I've always thought it's a very cool way of keeping you engaged in a cutscene or whatever. Every time that I would press, and here, you know, you have the prompt come up, and then there's a circle around it that like depletes. Every time that I would press the button, the time left on that bar was like the absolute last frame before you would miss.
You did better than I did, yeah.
But that was like by the time that I registered that it was happening. And I finally got to the point, because I started to miss them, and I was like, I need to actually turn on the, like, let me know that there's one coming. And even with that coming up, I was still like either barely doing them or missing them and stuff like that.
Don't feel too bad. I mean, I guess I have the same kind of thing when it comes to those now. Like I used to be way on them, but then again, there's something about those games in particular that makes me feel really bad at them. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like just the way the stuff looks, if it's when they're happening or what. But like I'll nail a QuickTime event most of the time on any other game, but on those games in particular, I really have a tough time with it.
Maybe it's a Supermassive thing.
Yeah.
Listeners who play Supermassive games, let me know if you experience a similar thing. If you're
nailing them, no problem. Then it's me. No, and I will wholeheartedly own that. Like I'm not trying to make excuses. No, I really have the same struggle with it. There's a lot of times where it comes up and I'm like, wow, that I either barely made that or I super fucked it up, and I kind of in shock that I fucked it up because I don't know. Especially on PlayStation, if you're playing it there, because for whatever reason, my brain, like, there's no real like color behind it. It's just like, you know, white and black. And sometimes it takes my brain a second to, I think it's a UI thing a lot of the time where my brain is just like, wait, what shape? Oh yeah. Okay. And by the time I've registered that, we're done.
There's also, and this started with Heavy Rain, I noticed, which it's twofold. I do agree that, and this is just like a design thing.
Yeah.
I mourn that PlayStation actually Xbox also. I mourn that they got away from the colors for their buttons. But also with Heavy Rain, I remember they started putting the QTE prompt where the action on the screen was happening, which I understand why that works, but like the God of War games before that would be like, well, no, like a triangle action is going to be on the top of the screen.
Right.
Circle is going to be on the right. Right. And so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Because then you're
not only did you have the color, but you also knew in correlation to
where
it
is on the controller. Yeah.
Right. And now they don't do that.
No.
And I wish that both of those were different now. But I understand why it keeps you more like. It does make sense where it's like this blade is coming at you, so the QTE prompt appears over the blade, right? Because that's where you're looking. Yeah. I get that, but I don't know. I almost wish that it was just like at the bottom of the screen, and like all 4 buttons, and it would just like light up which one you're supposed to press.
Sure, I'd be into that. I could do that. Yeah.
So the only actor whose name I recognize, and I don't know her from anything, was Ashley Teasdale. She's like the secondary lead in the game.
Blonde girl.
She's got like brownish hair, I think.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different person.
Yeah. She's the wife, like, of the
yeah,
of the main character.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I for whatever reason she's blonde in my brain.
It might have just been the lighting. The game is very dark.
It is very dark, yeah.
But the actor who plays like her husband, at first I was like, man, look at this Albert Wesker looking motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
But the more that I was watching him, and maybe it's because he was wearing like dark sunglasses for the majority of the beginning of the game, just his jawline and his overall performance and demeanor, I was like, oh, I found Cyclops.
Right.
This dude should play Cyclops.
Yeah.
In the upcoming movies. He's perfect.
I super got that guy smoked at some point, and I don't remember what I did to do that, but yeah, he got iced.
Yeah. Also, like Cyclops in this game, he gets like hardcore NTR'd.
Yeah.
So that was also the reason why I was thinking Cyclops when I was playing the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I think I lost him, and I keep thinking, there was another person that, oh man, I remember when they got killed, because I remember I was letting Kim make all the decisions. So I guess this isn't fully on me, but she made one. I was like, I can't believe you did that.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this.
And they super got, like, I didn't think that was going to happen. I was like, of course it was.
I was shocked at where that game ultimately ended up.
That's my favorite part of that game. It's like, really? Okay, why not?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, but it also makes like their most recent game less interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
fair enough. Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. I do want to get The Devil in Me. Oh yeah, I will say, like, the trailer for The Devil in Me that they showed when I beat the game, I was like, oh, that looks really cool. But that game was not on sale.
Yet to play. And I don't think it was on sale when I was looking at it the one time. I was like, oh yeah, we should play that. And then I don't know if we have that or not. I can't remember now.
I thought you played all of the
I haven't played Devil in Me yet. Okay. I haven't played Little Hope either. We played the first one, and it had so many damn jump scares in it that I really don't want to go back to it. I'm actively, don't tell Kim, I'm trying to avoid it so hard.
Little Hope starts off with the sauce and then ends up sauceless by the end of that game.
Yeah, I've heard. But yeah, I have heard. Then again, I mean, I watch some pretty schlocky horror nowadays. So yeah.
So that's House of Ashes. Mm-hmm. I guess this is a moot point now, but I played a lot more of. Actually, I played the entirety of that prologue demo for the Adventures of Elliot, because the save data carries over.
Yeah, why not?
And who knows when I'm going to get around to that game at this point.
Yeah.
But turns out, Justin, that what I've always wanted from a Zelda game is like an actual character that has
you mean
personality and motivation.
One of those story modes, or like a story, like
a story, yeah, and like
weird
stuff going on that seems like important to the people.
Zelda fans are beside themselves right now, Julian.
Oh, I know. Oh, and it is very funny watching people online who are like, I love Zelda, let me get this game. And then they're complaining about, and let me look, this does suck. You have, like, at least at the beginning in this prologue, you have like the princess who she's confined to the castle for reasons, but she communicates to you through this earring.
Sure.
And so she's very much like the Atreus, where she's like kind of letting you know like things before you even really get a chance to look at the environment and stuff like that.
Perfect.
But you'll also be like, hey, we've got a key. Like, it's like, we found a key. Maybe we should do that over here, blah, blah, blah. Like that type of shit.
Oh, this sounds like my kind of Zelda game. Here we go. All right. Just hold my hand and just tell me the puzzles. That's great. I'm into that.
But I think it's funny watching Nintendo fans like kind of crash out over this game, where it's like, that's literally all of the games that you play. It's just that you don't hear it verbally.
Right.
The game stops you to tell you stuff. I would actually prefer that she tells me that I picked up a key instead of the game pausing to let me know, hey, you picked up a key.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the graphics are really nice.
Okay, good.
The game felt too easy, and then a couple of the bosses later on like started to get like proper challenging. I was like, okay. Like nothing like over the top, but it was like, okay, this game definitely has like some teeth, right?
Sure.
It's not just going to be this like breezy thing. It has like a time travel element to it, which I wasn't expecting, so that's kind of neat. So kind of Chrono Triggerish, where you're literally like traversing through different eras of the same land.
Okay. All right.
So that stuff
That's
all
cool.
looks very cool.
Yeah.
It's very promising. I wish that I could have gotten my pre-order or whatever, but going to be working on, like House of Ashes is something that wasn't on the backlog, but it was like something, that I just made time for.
Yeah, right.
And I'm probably going to have to start working on some backlog stuff, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But
Okie doke.
The pipes are starting to get a little parched, so I will kick it over to you for now.
Well, I don't know how much I have. One thing I did think of in the interim, since we've been talking, because we were talking about Marvel stuff, is I don't know if it's supposed to be officially out, but Amazon sent me a box of the Marvel Magic the Gathering set because I ordered it.
Oh, well, then it's probably out.
Well, I mean, I ordered it. No, but I don't know if it is. You look up the release date, and it's like, yeah, the pre-release is supposed to be like tomorrow or tonight at midnight, actually.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, well, they just sent me a box. Now that might be like sometimes release dates in Magic the Gathering are fucking weird sometimes, because the official release date will be like next week. Like it'll be a week after that. But that doesn't mean you can't buy the cards. That just means you can't use them in decks until that day. It's real. I kind of like remembered that eventually. I was like, oh, right. I think it probably you can buy them now, but like you can't officially use them in standard or whatever until next week. It sounds
like a thing where either there was a clerical error with like multiple release dates and some wires got crossed, or it's just a thing where it shipped when it was supposed to, but you just got it faster than.
I'm fine with that. Either one,
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I just like looked at the thing. I was like, "Oh, that's coming today." Oh, all right, cool. All right, we'll open some cards today. Why not?
Yeah.
I figured I'd just buy like one and just because I'm more of a casual Magic man now.
I'm honestly surprised that you picked up a Marvel set.
Well, it was more because Kim wanted it. Because she likes opening cards with me, and normally like when we go to the bookstore, I'll be like, oh, hey, look, they have a couple. Let's get a couple packs and open them and see what we get. Because why not? It's fun. I like opening packs of cards. So she was like, yeah, when the Marvel one comes out, we should get some of those because I really want to get. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll look into it. And so I got us a box. And we opened them. It's a neat set. It's a lot. I'm not as familiar with it as the Final Fantasy stuff because I'm not a comics guy.
I've seen some of the cards, and it's like, oh, that's surprisingly obscure.
Yeah. There's been some where I look at them like I have never heard of this person before. That's fascinating. Like I think. There was one card I opened. I was like, who the fuck is like Night Nurse or some shit like that? And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah. That one, she was at least, well, they never called her Night Nurse. She's in like the Netflix shows. She's the Rosario Dawson character.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But they never actually call her Night Nurse in there. But I mainly know her from Marvel Strike Force, which I played on mobile for quite a bit.
Yeah. There's also the she had a name too. I can't remember what it was, but it was something else. Anyway, there's a bunch of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like, I have no idea who these people are. Some of the rares, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but he looks cool. Like Thanos I was like, yeah, that makes sense for Thanos. He has like a one-sided board wipe. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that. I don't know. It was fun. There is also like a weird thing where there's like multiple versions of like the same heroes, but like one of them's the super good one. And I'm like, that's kind of different, but okay, why not?
Yeah.
Like you can get a uncommon Captain America, and he's like, yeah, this is a pretty good Captain America, but there's the mythic rare Captain America, and that's the one you really want because he's got like the shield counters and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of stuff. I did end up getting him. I didn't get Thanos, which I was kind of bummed by because he seemed cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like a neat set. Like I said, I mainly got it for her because I knew she'd get a kick out of that because she likes that kind of stuff probably more than I do. She at least watches the movies.
Right.
So, yeah, but we had fun doing that. She still has yet to play a game with me on that, and that's fine. We'll get there. Honestly, it's somewhat my fault because I forget. Anyway, did that. The other thing I picked up this week, or this past 2 weeks, was UFC 6, the new Ultimate Fighting Championship game.
The 6th ever UFC game that they've made.
Yep, don't question it. So I usually like these games like enough to where I play them a pretty good amount.
You like a sports career mode.
I love a sports career mode, Julian. I fucking love them. And this one is, I have completely lost interest in it already.
Oh, wow.
It still has a sports career mode, don't get me wrong. The problem is they took out all the stuff that I thought was cool about the sports career mode. And I'm like, why did you do this? It wasn't hurting anybody to have that in, but okay. Yeah, so it feels like a way stripped down version of their previous career modes. Their previous career modes, like, kind of had a half-ass story, but not really. And it was like, all right, nobody really cares about this. And so I understand why they took some of that out. But it always had this cool element of like, okay, you're going to start out in like the minor leagues, like the World Fighting Association or whatever. You're going to start out there and work your way through the ranks there, maybe become the champion, and then UFC is going to sign you. And I was like, that always felt cool. Like, because I always liked the idea that like, oh, if I don't win here, like my career will just sputter out and nothing will happen. And that's kind of dope. Here they just go, no, you're just in UFC. Shut up. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I guess that's fine. And they put it on there as like a big selling point too, where they're just like, yeah, you're not dealing with the WFA stuff anymore. You're just straight into UFC. And I'm like, yeah, but I really liked that part. That was kind of cool. They've gotten rid of, and I kind of do like this a little bit. Used to, you had to, I don't know, I can go either way on it. In the old ones, you used to have to like find certain fighters to learn moves from. And so you would have a sparring match against them and you would learn a move that way. You would do it enough times to where you now you know this move and this fighter taught you how to do it. There was also an element of you could injure that fighter in that sparring session, and then they'd be really pissed off at you. And you could start rivalries that way, which I thought was neat. But now it's just like, no, you just pay money and you have a little sparring sesh and you learn that move. Cool. And oh, all right. Yeah, I guess. It's like there was like different camps and stuff you could go to and do different stuff. And it seemed like a lot more in depth. This one's just like so stripped down that like as I'm going through it, I won the title and I was like, okay, I guess I just defend this for all eternity because I can't be stopped. It does some weird stuff gameplay wise. You can turn this off, but I kind of find it a little bit fun, at least when you're playing it single player. Now, there used to be like almost what I would deem impossible to do kind of situational spur of the moment moves. Like, okay, this man's gonna throw a punch at you. You can press the right stick and you can juke out of the way of that punch and throw a counter punch at him. Most of the time I am not fast enough to do that. Right. So now when that specific scenario comes up, sometimes they will slow down time and be like, you can press this button right now and do that. And it's like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like I kind of kept that on for a while. Also like stuff on the ground where like okay, this person's going to try to do this thing and get past your guard or whatever. You need to be, you got, it'll now stop, like basically slow down time until you like press this button to stop them from doing that. So you're not in this infinite loop of going back and forth between the same ground position over and over again.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
I do too.
I like a good slow down for this quick reaction.
Yeah,
like sometimes it's just a cool effect, and other times it's like for someone who has been talking about just like my reaction times are not what they used to be.
Oh, I love
it's much appreciated.
I like these games, and mine has never been good enough to do some of that stuff. I get by, but I've never been good enough to do a lot of that stuff. So although the ground stuff, I remember getting good at it at a certain point. Like I could actually block a lot of that stuff because I learned how to read where guys moved and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm guessing, and I know it's not there in multiplayer because there's no way you could do it in multiplayer. And you can turn it off if you don't like it or don't want it. So it's fine. It's a completely optional thing. I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, like there's also times where it like slows the game down, like almost too much sometimes, because there's like some really long animations where you're like, I pressed the thing, can we stop slowing down now? I think that's its big downfall with this thing in particular. Like there's some animations where like, okay, this person's trying to get you, press this on the controller, and I'm like, okay, I pressed that thing on the controller, and instead of just like going good job and playing out real fast, it just stays slowed down and keeps the button prompt on, and you're like, did I do it? I think I did it. Did I do it? Okay, yeah, I did it. Good. All right, good job. Like it's like a little too long every now and then. There's also, so the reason the career mode I think is stripped down is because they included like a full-blown story mode. And
okay.
And I tried it, and it's fucking awful.
Well, you'll have that sometimes.
Yeah. Like I got, like I it's one of those moments where I was playing it, and I'm like, this is like, all the dialogue here is pretty bad. I don't give a shit about this guy. Like his dad was like a gold medal wrestler or something like that. Now he's gonna get in the UFC and all this stuff. And in that mode, you go through the fucking World Fighting Association or whatever. You're doing these little pickup fights in the gym and all this stuff. And there's a coach and there's some drama and all this other bullshit. And I was like, man, I don't care about fucking any of this. And then Kim walked in and watched me like watch part of the story mode. It was like, what is this? This is really bad. I was like, yeah, it's not very good. I'll tell you that right now. It's pretty bad. I didn't play it for too long, but it's there. So it's weird.
That's always a nice thing when like someone who's not the gamer in the household comes in and also witnesses that, last week you talked about your mom noting like how it felt like you were watching a kid's show with the Nintendo Direct. And then Kim is like, "Oh, this looks bad." And you're like, "Yeah, no, it is. You're right."
Kim likes video games, but she also like doesn't know everything. Like she's not like me and you. Yeah. Like she'll walk in on stuff sometimes, and I get this like really unfiltered opinion, and I love that. It's most of the time it's mimicking exactly what I'm thinking. Where I'm just like, "This isn't very good," and then they'll just say it, But yeah, it's rough. I was just kind of like, oh man, I played this before. And the weird thing about these ones is it's not like the WWE games where they come out every year. These ones, like, they take a year or two off sometimes and then come out.
I feel like you talked about the last one in the first season of this show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, because I got into that one. I was like, yeah, this is pretty fun. And I'm always like wondering, like, okay, what new stuff will they do for the career mode, or like how will they try to improve it? And this year they were just like, some people play this, I guess we'll keep it in there, but we'll just take a lot of the stuff out of it. It just feels so like bare bones and boring. Like, and it has a big problem, and it's always had the big problem of like, okay, you get to a certain point where money is no longer a thing that you need to like really worry about, and you can pretty much do everything, but you don't have enough time to do it, and that's fine. But at the same, I don't know, things just become so less of an issue, and you're just like, I'm already all powerful, and now I'm just getting more powerful, and you're just throwing the same like 3 people at me over and over and over again. And I know this fight way too well now, and it's not really a challenge. Like, things don't escalate the way they probably should.
Yeah.
I don't know. I started a new one today where I tried to, I was like, I'm going to turn the difficulty up. Maybe that'll be fun. And it was like, still isn't even doing it for me. Like, I think I'm just going to put this down for a while. But yeah, it's fine. Other people that aren't me that like these games seem happy about it because they're probably playing it over the internet and that stuff.
Right.
And that's cool. But as far as the stuff that I play them for, I was not really into it. So yeah, that's my take on UFC 6. Like, I mean, the fighting's fine. They've added a couple different little moves here and there. But yeah, it's never enough. It never feels like a true, like, wow, they really did some shit to this one ever. Like, It always kind of feels like the same game. And that's a bummer considering that they take kind of the breaks that they do to make them. So yeah, there's that.
They'll never do this, but really what I would want in a sports career mode, especially something like a UFC or the WWE, is I also want to have the decline of my character.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I want it to be, you mentioned like having too much money and you can't do anything with it. It's like, no, but I want it to be where it's like, oh, now I have like a drug addiction, and also I'm spending a lot of money on, like, you know, just having all these women come to my room every night.
You've been injured so many times, you're addicted to painkillers now.
I'm so desensitized to all of the titty that I'm getting that like nothing does it for me. Like, I've got like 4 women here and I can't get it up, and I'm like crushing Blue Chew, like, and nothing's happening, and I'm on my 3rd marriage.
Super into everything you're putting down right now. That would be amazing.
I would be so into that.
I'd be way in. That'd be fucking great. Like,
and you have like your very public crash out where, like, you know, you're found like on the street or something. You do your apology tour.
Yeah, or like you'd have to make it kind of like procedurally done, right? Like, not every career mode's going to go the same. You're going to have random events that spring up.
It's based on your choices.
Yeah, and they try to do that a little bit, but it's like the consequences for like failing, like what they call like a risk. Like, sometimes people will text you in it and they'll go, "Hey, we're going to like we got this like trainer here and they're really good at this. Do you want to train with them? But they might knock you out and it might be really bad for you." And you're like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And if you fail the risk, it's just like, oh, you got a little head wound and now you got to take like a couple days off for that. And it's like, oh, okay, that's nothing. Or you can spend your money to fucking fix it. And it's just like, okay, what are we doing? There's no
I want it
real
to
risk.
be like fucking Rocky, where, you know, there's a certain point in that series where they're like, if you take another shot to the eye, you will go blind.
Right. Yeah.
You need to stop.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, I want injuries like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We need career ending shit like to happen. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. In WWE also, I think that'd be, I always think about, Jake, like, it was Beyond the Mat, when the Jake the Snake stuff in Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
You know, where he was talking about like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, first you have like one chick, then you have 2 chicks, then it's like, okay, you 2 make out, I'll stay on the bed, and then eventually like nothing works for you anymore, and meanwhile like you're away from your kid and you're away from your wife, and that's not going well, and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, I want that. Like, I want to be like,
that'd be great.
Oh, this time I'm gonna play a character that stays clean. But it's like, you get so fucked up in injuries, it's like you have to take the painkillers in order to go through.
Yeah.
And like eventually, like, it's
I mean, almost, you could do so many different things. Like, oh, hey, you had this come up. Do you want to do it? And you're like, yeah, why not? Let's go for it. Like, what are the benefits? It's like, okay, well, here's the upsides, but and then like the downsides, like all of a sudden pop up like later on down the line. You're like, oh shit, I did not expect this. Okay, now I need to either change, and like you start like changing course. Like, okay, no, we gotta right the ship here. This is really gonna affect this upcoming fight here. This is a mess.
Yeah. Like what if you don't cut weight early enough or whatever, and you come in like very like sluggish and slow and stuff like that.
They try to do some of that, but it's like I said, it's so like minor that it doesn't it doesn't register, you know.
I realize as I'm talking about all this that I'm really describing your average female protagonist corruption porn game.
Yeah,
where
basically.
It's like, this time I'm going to play it where like she doesn't like totally fall to depravity. It's like, no, but the game is designed for her to fall into depravity. So it's like, you're just set up for failure. That's what you need for a UFC story mode.
Or it's just really boring. That's the you know, like, that would be great. I would love that. Or like, you know, give your like, almost like the Outer Worlds like quirk system where it's like, hey, you can be really good at this, but you're also addicted to methamphetamine.
Right.
So, you know, like you're really good, you're really, really fast, but hey, you know, like I would be into that shit. That'd be great.
Yeah.
No, there's none of that here.
Cowards.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm gonna we would need like an unlicensed like fighting game for that.
Yeah.
And somebody really should take a risk and try to do that with either wrestling or wrestling would probably be the funner one. Like I said, I always wanted
more likely to have one made.
Yeah, I've always wanted a wrestling game where it's like I said, it's just like you're just going touring and you're just playing out a career in multiple different little promotions. And hey, maybe things won't work out over here, but turns out you're really good at fucking taking a chair shot to the head. So this hardcore league over here, maybe you're just really good at getting slammed into barbed wire. That's your thing. This is your career path now.
And it'd be really cool if it was like, you can make it to the big promotion, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
And even if you get there, you might only, like, depending on how, like, you might not be good enough and you might get, like, cut after a year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it'd be, like, really cool. It's like, you know, the toughest trophy to get is like, oh no, I retired from the big promotion. Right. Because like I actually had a career in the big promotion.
Yeah, you had like an exactly. That'd be great.
You did the John Cena run, right? Like where most people is like, oh no, I'm actually the
It'd be wrestling RPG. It'd be fucking dope, man. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Which is similar to like the boxing RPG that I've had like in my head for 20 years plus.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, UFC is not like that. It's just kind of boring. The career mode is just kind of like the same as it has been, but with less stuff now. It just feels so like such a side note that they added in there. I was like, I wish you'd just focus more on improving this and then adding the fucking dumb story into it because it's not very good. And we all know it's not very good. Maybe it gets better if I go through it, but I don't have the patience for it. So yeah, I fell off of it. And like I even tried to play it today. I was like, maybe I can try to do some other stuff and maybe it'll get interesting. And I was just like, this is just not doing anything for me. So yeah, that's UFC 6. Kind of a bummer, but the fighting's still good. If you like the fighting and that's what you're there for, it's that. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, very briefly, because I played a bunch of demos, but I was going to save them for next week. But this one I probably won't remember. I tried out the demo for that Polyfighter that I talked about, which is that run-based fighting game on Steam. Yeah. Doesn't feel very good to play.
I wasn't worried about that. I was real worried about that because, it looked cool, but man, fighting games are tough because you gotta be real. It has to feel good, and if it doesn't, it's not going to go very far. Yeah, that's a bummer. Maybe it's still early on in development. Maybe they can right that ship totally. A little bit, know. So
it could be a thing where they like get it like nice and tight and whatever.
Get some FGC guys in there to really like kind of like okay. We know what you're going for. That really know what they're trying to do and are behind it and can like kind of help. Like no, this can get real nitty gritty with certain things and make it feel good. And try to go from there. I don't know, but it's doable. It's doable. We'll see. I'm still fascinated and it looks cool. So yeah.
They also I think it was today it was yesterday. They unveiled the trailer for that first new Street Fighter 6 character, Camilla, and she looks awesome. She's from the Philippines, and she's got this like short curved dagger that she holds like very close to her chest.
Okay.
That she can throw out with like a boomerang effect, and she's just got some really fun, fast like strikes that she does.
Cool.
She's pretty nifty. And I already know that I'm going to like Bosch because I liked him in the World Tour mode.
Sure,
so basically, if that Arjun guy and Tifa come out good, that's going to be like a really solid season of new characters. Brand new characters to Street Fighter.
I imagine Tifa will be pretty fun. I'm
sure she will be.
Even if they're not, it's like, what a cool addition. What a cool thing to have in here. What a neat thing. So yeah. I get my like two big like 12-year-old video game crushes in one game. I get Chun-Li and Tifa. It's fucking what a world. What a world.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
I've definitely got more, but before we move on to my other stuff, why don't we take some time to thank our lovely patrons?
Sure, let's do that.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. This week we have Philip P.K. Becker.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Exrian.
We have Xavier Krager.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have David Portnov.
We have friend of the show, John Gholson.
We have Bookie.
We have Andrew Wilson.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Raymond Crum.
We have Soundtracker.
We have Big Baker.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have 60X Self.
We have Addy XD.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Blaine Thea.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Let's Play Princess of Nerds of Broadcast. Congratulations, Nerds of Broadcast, for 100 episodes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. By next season, they'll have surpassed us in numbered episodes because we always take a break. So
good for them.
Yeah. They don't. So, those 6 weeks that we take off, like they'll have episodes. So they'll be past
them.
us.
Good for them. I
need the break.
I was going to say I absolutely 100% needed to. To be fair, we usually bank enough to where stuff comes out still.
Oh, and that's the other, we don't have any gaps in the schedule, but also leading up to that, we bust our asses to do so. To the point that like this season, I'm actually just going to pause Patreon billing for like January and February because I need to be able to not have to edit anything.
I get it.
For the break because it was still a lot to edit.
Oh yeah, dude, I get it.
Break.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we had Cinemorons, we had Suffer Select.
Oh yeah,
and whatnot, and getting all those episodes banked and edited. It's a lot moving into that, and we may or may not do music episodes this year. So far, there hasn't been a lot of like excellent music.
Yeah,
actually, there is. The next thing I'm going to talk about, that is the one shining spot of it, is that the soundtrack is fantastic, which is I went ahead and finished Legacy of Kain Ascension, which is that 2D action game, the first Legacy of Kain game released in 20 years.
Nice.
Is absolute dog shit.
Oh, perfect. Just what you always wanted.
Oh, yes. Absolutely the worst game that I've played this year.
Great.
The whole time that I was playing it, I was like, this feels like it's made from a studio, and I've never heard of this studio before, but it feels like it's made by people that have never made this type of game before.
They probably didn't. Yeah.
It feels amateurish. The way that the enemies behave, it feels like some of the shitty games that we've played on the Suffer Select.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Where like every enemy, like their behavior is, I'm going to back up from you.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to rush in and jump and then back away again.
Yeah.
It's like none of them actually want to attack you.
Uh-huh. Well, they're afraid of you. You're Kain.
The problem is that you're a vampire and you constantly have your health ticking away.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like that's what they're trying to do, is like win this war of attrition on you.
It's smart, really.
It kind of, yeah. the level design is atrocious, and the levels are too vertical, but you can't tell, like, you know, if where you're going to jump actually has a platform below you or not, because it's one of those type of things. But also, you'll get into scenarios where I've killed all the enemies, but I'm not quite sure where to go yet, and now I just dropped dead because there weren't anybody else, there wasn't anybody else to feed on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's at its best when Kain is there, because Simon Templeman is still a tour de force.
Sure.
I will say that the script of this game feels like Legacy of Kain fan fiction, where it's like, you're trying to do what they used to do, but it's a pale imitation. Simon Templeman does his best with what he's given, but it's not the amazing stuff that he did in the previous games. And then, man, Michael Bell sounds ancient because he's in his 80s, and you're supposed to be playing younger versions of Raziel in this game, and he sounds decrepit. And I don't mean that to be insulting. It's just it's just the fact of the matter that he's very old.
He's an
now.
old man, yeah.
He was getting old 20 years ago when he was making these games. 25 years ago when he was making these games.
God bless him.
And I really do feel like it was a good time to recast everybody, because like it feels like it's trying to set up something for later, right? It feels like it's setting up this new character Alalith as like possibly like a new series protagonist, which is fine. Like, she's kind of cool. But it felt like, okay, no, you should probably recast Simon Templeman and Michael Bell for this little thing. Get us used to the idea.
Yeah.
But also, I know you're not aware of this, Justin, but the Legacy of Kain series is all about super wackadoo time travel shit. Since
do
the very
kind of
first
know
game.
that. Yeah.
And this game, you're going all across that timeline. And I'm someone who actually has gone through this series relatively recently for games my mom found over the last like 5 years or so.
Right.
If I had not touched the series in 20 years, like probably most people have, I wouldn't know what the fuck is happening. This is a game that needs like a very handy timeline, or like, hey, put on the screen where in the story I'm at right now.
Right.
It's like, okay, now I'm dealing with young human Raziel, but oh, here's the Wraith Raziel in the background, because this is the part where they kind of cross paths. But now I'm vampire Raziel, and now I'm Kain, but which version of Kain am I? It took me until the end of the game to realize, oh, that was Blood Omen 2 era Kain, not Soul Reaver era Kain, where he's already conquered the world.
Okay.
But that wasn't actually clear. And so I'm like, I don't know when this is happening. And then it gets super confusing, where the last boss fight is the new character versus Soul Reaver era Kain.
Okay.
Actually, Legacy of Defiance era Kain.
Okay.
And she says like, oh, you murdered my family. And he's like, oh, how strange. You're talking about a thing that I haven't done yet. And I'm like, what? No, but that was in the past. Like, and it's bad. It is a bad video game. It's only 4 hours long, and it felt like it took for fucking an eternity to finish.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's honestly suffer select material.
I was one, yeah, maybe one of these days.
Except that, you know, no one's going to nominate because I already finished it. But like,
that's fair. Yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah, soundtrack is incredible. Like that was the one thing I was like, man, this is a great soundtrack. Pixel art's good too.
Sure.
But man, what a letdown.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're a Legacy of Kain fan, so you know you're used to that.
Yeah, and I mean that, you know, part of it I was like, well, you know, none of the games have like really excellent gameplay except for maybe Defiance. That's like the one game where they really kind of honed in on, no, we can actually make the combat fun and good.
Yeah.
The rest of them is like
maybe they should try to make one of those games that's actually, you know, really fun to play, and maybe people would be into it. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, that series has its fans almost in spite of itself.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And a big part of it gets by on the excellent writing and like
that
performances.
Always seemed to be the thing that people would go on about, was like, no, but like the story's really cool and the writing's really good and all this other stuff, and the vampires are cool, and yay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
let's see. I'll just say real quick. I fired up Romeo as a dead man to kind of see if I wanted to cross that off my list, and just bounced off of it so hard, and I went ahead and abandoned it.
Yeah.
Same problems that I had before, where it's like, in the story, you've already been doing this stuff for a while, but because the player is new, they're talking to the main character as if everything is new. And I'm like, I don't understand why you didn't just have it start with the character at the beginning, and then you could do like a montage flash forward thing. Sure. And be like, okay, now we're here.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest issues, and this, man, I haven't played a lot of Suda51's games, but like, your character's name is Romeo, but his code name is Deadman.
Yeah.
The leader of your division, every goddamn time he speaks to you, goes, Romeo. Oh, I mean Deadman. Every goddamn time.
Well,
Justin.
They really want to establish that Romeo is the dead man, Julian. It's important. It's important. Okay.
It sure is.
It's important.
So then I started like kind of looking at like my backlog, and I started looking at like stuff like just digitally on my PlayStation. You know, I was like, okay, I'm in this weird spot where I don't feel like playing Staros right now. Romeo's a Dead Man is a no. I'm still not quite ready to jump back into Crimson Desert.
Right.
So I was like, okay, what does that leave me with? And it's like, okay, not much for 2026 stuff right now. So let me, you know, take some time to like maybe look at some backlog stuff. So I was going through like the stuff that I had purchased digitally that I just didn't have installed on the PlayStation. And I started playing VA-11 Hall-A.
Right.
Otherwise known as Valhalla, one of your favorite games, Justin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of playing it in basically like I do a shift.
Mm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the look of it. I like the art.
Yeah.
I wish that you had more agency when you're talking to people.
I agree.
She does seem like a very defined character.
That is kind of what I was going to say. They are kind of it's not really that kind of game sometimes. Yeah. Or it's just not that kind of game. It's more of like a visual novel, and they are a character that you're observing the life of. You just play the bartender parts.
Right. But even just like a simple like, let me choose what question I want to ask this.
Yeah, I could see that.
Especially if it tied more into the actual bartending part of it.
Right.
Maybe they would order a more expensive drink if I'm appealing to their interests or whatever in the conversation and whatnot. The bartending stuff is it's fine. It's fun. And the characters are interesting. I really like that it's a game that rewards you for if you're going in like in between shifts and you're reading like the articles and stuff like that, like that stuff actually does come into play like when you're talking to other people. Like
right.
They'll be commenting on something like, oh yeah, I read about that in the news, right? Like right. I appreciate that stuff about it. It's good. It's nothing that's like blowing my socks off so far, but it might be a thing where it's like I need to get to the end of it, but
it takes a while to get where it's going. I just remember really liking it. It was like one of those like games that I played at like the perfect time.
Sure.
Because I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of in the mood for this. I don't know what it is, and it just hit at just the right spot in life, I guess, where I was like, yeah, no, I'm here for this. Let's go. Yeah. This is kind of nice, actually.
I love that I'm on like I think my 5th night and I have not served the wrong drink yet. So yeah. Pretty proud of myself on that.
There's that. If I remember, there's one guy that shows up and you have to like guess what drink he wants. That guy can be a pain in the ass. But the other fun thing you can do is add more alcohol to drinks.
Yes.
And their dialogue will start to change, and that is pretty neat. In fact, I think that's how you get some of the weird cameos to show up in that game, which I didn't even know existed the first time I played it. So
interesting. Yeah. there's this streamer who comes in. She's like live blogging her life.
Fun.
And she says like, I just want to get drunk. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to fuck you up. And so I just loaded it up.
Yep.
And like her face got totally red and everything. Yep. And I was like, and I started wondering, like, oh, I wonder if I can do this more often. Because it's to me, it seems like you don't want to get them too drunk because then they're not going to order as much.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not hurting for cash.
It's a push and pull. Yeah, it is.
And I kind of thought that the money thing was going to be like more of a dire situation. When the game starts, it feels like she's in a really bad spot, and I'm going to be like trying to like pay off a lot of debt. But I'm like, oh, I'm just like flush with cash. Like, I can't
remember if stuff comes up or not where you need it.
I was expecting like, oh, I'm going to have to pay like all of these like bills and stuff. And it's like, no, there's like this like internet bill that automatically gets deducted. You just have to have $800. And it's like, oh, I've got like 5,000 on me at all times. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of surprised at that. But enjoying it so far.
That's good.
I've been kind of bopping back and forth between shifts in Valhalla, and then I am trying once again to complete Hades.
Okay.
So it's like I'll do a run in Hades and then I'll do a shift in Valhalla.
There you go.
Which is kind of funny when you I'm mixing pantheons here.
Right.
Why
not?
Yeah. I feel that beating Hades might be out. Well, okay. I was starting to think that completing Hades was not going to be possible for me.
Sure.
Because every run that I've done since I reinstalled the game has been worse than the previous one.
Right.
Then I realized that I had not unlocked half of the mirror tree yet. I thought that I had gotten all the abilities, and I was like, oh, the last thing that I need to get is I can max out how many like death defiances I get. And I'd been like using my keys to like purchase other stuff because I was like, oh, I don't need these keys anymore. And then I was like,
sure,
there's other things on this tree. And the next one was like, increase your maximum health. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah. That's
so it's like now I have 100 hit points where I had 50 for all of these other runs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then the one after that was like, oh, increase the amount of money that you start with. And I was like, I started to sound like fucking Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
This is really something that you should have told me yesterday.
Yeah.
I was just fucking kicking myself, dude, because I was like, oh, this seems impossible. But I still maintain, I fucking hate Elysium.
Yeah.
Those enemies are way too damage spongy for how much damage they can put out.
Elysium's the fucking test, man. It is 100% the fucking run killer.
Most of the time, I'm not even making it to the boss fight.
Right.
And then when I do, it's still the thing. Like I can beat the Minotaur, not no problem. I can beat the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Consistently. I can't do shit to Theseus.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, you just dash through him and then hit him from behind. No, he turns around too fast.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know what the fuck I need to do on this guy.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah. I think maybe what I have to do is focus on him because when the Minotaur's there, he's moving around more often. So there seems to be more opportunity to backstab him. But the Minotaur is a problem for me.
Yeah.
So, oh man. I've only beaten them once.
Are you messing with Hades any of the different weapons or anything?
So far, my best bet is the spear. That is the one that I succeed with the most because I've upgraded to have like a longer reach, but there's also a boon that gives it an even longer reach where you can stab dudes from across the entire screen. So that's real nice. But so far, it's the spear and the shield are my best.
The shield's fun too. Yeah, the shield is good against that guy because you can throw it at him and it'll go behind him and come back. That does help.
Yeah,
I think that might have been the first one that I beat it with, but I cannot remember. No, I beat it with the gun. I did the gun
because gun.
Yeah, gun worked pretty good.
Yeah,
who'd have thunk? But yeah, that's I do hope you beat a run in that, because I think you will really like that.
Yeah. I'm still really liking, like the characters.
Oh, yeah.
This might be controversial, but I do like Absalom quite a bit more as far as like a run-based, like kind of brawler type game.
Sure.
I think it's more fun to play than Hades. Obviously, different types of games, right?
Very different types, yeah.
But just like general fun factor, like
it just might be more your thing.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I love the writing. I love the voice acting.
That's always my thing with Hades. Is I'm constantly. I was when I first played that game, I was just constantly in awe of like all these people have different things to say almost every time I come back here, and it's never stops.
Crazy.
It never stops. It's wild, and they're all. It's not like we wrote a bunch of stuff and you read it. It's like, no, it's all voice acted. It's like, wow, like the level
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
And then even just like the random stuff that happens on a run, right? So like, when now I'm at the point now where it's like, I don't know which one of the Furies I'm going to face in the first level.
Right.
I love it when he tries to guess and then he's wrong.
Yeah.
And then like, now Thanatos is showing up and we have a contest and like the first time I was like, this is so unfair. Like you set me up for failure. And then the second time I actually beat him.
Yeah.
And he doubles the reward for that, that room, which is very nice. Cause in that run, it was actually health. So I got an extra 50 hit points instead of 25.
Yeah.
Cause my thing is like, I'm trying to build as much health as I can.
Sure.
For survivability. It's like health and death defiance, but so trying. I don't know if it's going to happen. So many people want me to finish this game, and I don't know if I can do it.
You'll get there eventually. I don't know. For some reason, that game is interesting in the fact that like once you like, there's a point where I got to in it, and even the second one is like this, where like you feel like you've cracked the code. Like you're just like, okay, I know how to do this now. And like you'll find like a build or something that works for you, and you're just like, I know how to seed this run essentially to get there and do these things, and it's good to like my advice is just like experiment a lot. Like if you haven't messed with,
you kind of have to.
100%. Yeah, just experiment and mess around, and then eventually you'll be like, okay, got it. Like, and the other like. My favorite thing to do was always to aim. Once you get the rarity one, there's like I think one of the mirrors has like it ups the rarity of stuff you get. That one's really, really good. Yeah. And once you get that, you're basically you're never taking anything under blue at that point ever. Like common is garbage. You just don't want it. And then you start. I don't know. You start aiming for. I always aim for the dual boon. Like, so I'll just like, okay, what do I need to get this thing? And then I'll just play around. I just got my first
one of those the other day. I didn't even know that was a thing.
You can start seeding it to where you get them like more often, and then it starts to become like, okay, now I get it. It's interesting.
Because that's the thing is that like I don't feel like I get stronger during a run, and that's the other issue that I have with Elysium, where like I'm like, I am just hammering on these dudes for so long. And actually, where I notice it is the Bone Hydra, because that fight is now, it's tougher now, right? Like, I've done like, 18 runs, and it's so tough, and it takes so much damage, and like, I feel like I'm not putting out any damage. I'm like, there's not really a lot of opportunities for my damage to go up, and that sucks. But my thing so far is like, if I can get the deflect dash from Athena early on, I know it's going to be a good run.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because like that mitigates so much.
That's a good one. My favorite one is my favorite build in Hades 1 is the bowling ball build. That is my absolute favorite one, where it's Poseidon and Zeus. And I think it's either a dual boon or something like that. But you basically just build your character to just dash right into things. And when they'll hit the walls and just like start fucking exploding. And it's fucking great.
Yeah.
And like then you have the lightning damage on top of it. It's wild. And yeah, that's a fun run. Like you just walk into a room and just dash into everything a bunch of times, and then everything just evaporates, and you're just like, all right, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun build.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff in both those games. Hades is a good series. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see, this is real quick. I just want to talk about it because I was excited that it finally came out. Gitaroo Man was released on the Classics Collection on PlayStation. It was $10. Like, you don't have to be a PS Plus member to get it. I'm happy to report that it actually plays really well on a modern screen.
Nice.
Like,
cool.
Any of the mistakes that I made felt like they were my fault and
that's a good feeling.
Not input delay.
Right.
One of the frustrating things is that I realized that the mistakes, well, it's a personal input delay, which is I was never able to like do all of the levels like no miss on like back when I was 23.
Yeah.
But I definitely did a few of them no miss. There's certain parts in every song that I would always miss the notes on.
Oh,
and I still miss those, but I could get an A rating on like every stage in the PS2 version.
Yeah.
I got an A on 2 of the was it 12 levels on my first try.
You know, now
that was humbling.
Now that it's been X amount of years since Guitar Hero came out, I wonder if I can still do some of the shit that I was able to do on that game now.
The last time that I played it was when I was in my really fancy apartment, and I had it hooked up on like an LCD, and it was difficult for me to play it on that display, but it wasn't impossible. And I think I was just out of practice because I was like, I'm barely scraping by on medium, let alone expert.
Yeah. I know myself too well that I would be like, nope, we're going straight to expert. There's no other mode in this game.
I did go straight to expert, Justin, and then I had to drop it down to
medium. And get yourself there again. Yeah. No, I get it.
But I felt that it was a practice. Like it was just. I feel that I could get back to where I was.
That's how that game is. Yeah. I wonder if I could still play. There was one song I used to love to play, and it was because it was one of the few that you had to do. Like basically, you had to strum. You couldn't just do everything with your thumb. Like was like kind of the optimal way, in my opinion, to do most songs. But like you had to actually up and down stroke.
Yeah, that it took me a longer time than I'd like to admit to realize that like the tougher songs you had to move up and down instead of just pressing down.
You couldn't just do the thumb down. I mean, I'm sure you can, but God help you. Yeah, and like getting the rhythm. There was one. It was Freya, and I cannot remember who does that song. I have that song on my phone, I'm sure, because I like that Guitar Hero got me into it.
Yeah.
It's a riff that constantly gets stuck in my head, but there's a part where it's like you just have to do the whole fucking up and down stroke. And I used to blow people's minds because that part would come on anybody and they'd just be like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do there. And I would just be like, check this out, and I'd just do it, and it was great. Man, they should bring Guitar Hero back. It'd be great. Come on, Xbox. Do that.
I'm telling you, man.
Poke them with a fucking stick until they do it.
Don't get me...
I know. I know.
I've played some demos, but there's other demos that I have downloaded that I want to check out. So I'm going to save those for next week. But the last thing that I want to talk about is a game that I finished. I played all the way through it over the last few days. It's a game that I'd heard about on some podcast that I've been interested in, and it's only on Steam right now. It's Forbidden Solitaire.
Yes.
This is a fucking cool as shit game, Justin. So,
all right,
it's doing this thing that I really like, where I've been very like on my soapbox about like we need to kill nostalgia, like we're getting way too in the weeds on nostalgia, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
this is the type of nostalgia media that I like, which is, it's this like lost game from 1995 that was like taken off the store shelves because like there was a lot of controversy around it, and there were people like parents protesting it at the time, and like you found it at a thrift store. And there's apparently like very few copies left because it got destroyed a lot and stuff like that.
Right.
and it's a 1995 ass CD-ROM PC game.
Nice.
And so this is one of those games where it's like, if they ever did port it to a console, I feel like it would be like the Inscription or Doki Doki Literature Club scenario where it's like, this doesn't hit on a console the way it does on a PC. Like, I wouldn't even want to play this on my Steam Deck. I played this on my desktop, and I'm glad that I did, because like when you fire up the game, you are on the main character's desktop.
Okay, perfect.
And you log in, and then there's like he's IMing his sister, talking about like, hey, I found this game, and she's like, holy shit, you found Forbidden Solitaire. Like, man, I'm really jealous. And then she kind of looks into it. She's like, yeah, apparently like there's hardly any copies left. I can't believe you found it for as cheap as you did.
Right.
That's kind of insane. I'm super jealous, because like you need to like rip that, and you know, for the sake of like internet, like, you know, video game preservation, like it's not available online. I looked.
Right.
They nail the presentation.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's like when you fire up the game, it's got like this CG cutscene kind of explaining the story. It's the really good type of PS1 era CG where it's like, it feels like they took the polygonal models and then like put like a CG veneer on top of it.
Okay.
It's like that weird like half step type of CG that like, you know it when you see it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I think one of the big things is the audio for it. Like when you're watching like the intro cutscene, it's like the soundscape of this is 100% how these video games sounded.
Right.
Which is a really interesting feat, because like, you know, I'm on record as being like kind of over chiptune music.
Sure.
Mainly because I feel that like a lot of people who try to emulate specific eras of chiptune don't nail it.
Yeah.
Like they're going for like, oh, we want this to sound like an NES game, and then it doesn't sound like an NES game.
Right.
Or it's like, we want this to sound like a Game Boy game. It's like they're not.
We have more notes. We should use those. And it's like,
right.
but they didn't have those notes. You shouldn't do that. Yeah.
I will say that I was watching Maury Calliope play Mina the Hollower for a good hour, and I was like, okay, no, Yacht Club really nails this whole thing.
They
like,
know what they're doing.
This looks and sounds like a fucking Game Boy Color game.
Right.
Kudos to them for actually really understanding that whole scene. You're playing this game, and the setup of the game is that there's this dungeon called the Forbidden Dungeon, and if you go through the dungeon, like at the end of it is supposed to be like the secret to immortality or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all done with like really cool, like it's a first person perspective, and you're not controlling a character specifically. You're just like, it's almost like a visual novel where it's like you're reading, and this does feel very much like a PC game where it's like, here's all this like flavor text of like, oh, you find yourself in this darkened chamber, and like it's illuminated by these lanterns or whatever, and in front of you is a door, and you try the handle, and the handle is stuck, and so then it starts like this like solitaire field.
Sure.
And you got to play some motherfucking solitaire to get this door open.
Okay, now we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's solitaire rules, but it does a great job of introducing new wrinkles to the mechanics right up to the end of the game.
Cool.
And you have jokers that you get, very Balatro style, that give you all these effects. You have a mana pool that allows you to do different abilities depending on what joker cards you get.
Yeah.
If you fill your mana all the way, you can do a mana blast where it just like randomly like destroys some cards on the field.
Okay.
And then at a certain point, like you're also fighting battles where
why not?
Basically every time that you combo, you add to your damage tally, and then when you end your turn, that's how much you attack for.
All right.
You know, enemies can put up shields, so like sometimes you're not going to have enough damage to get past the shield, but there's other things you can do to mitigate that.
Right.
It's all very well thought out.
Sure.
It is solitaire though. So sometimes you're just not going to have a way forward, and you're just going to die and have to restart the encounter.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's solitaire. What are you going to do?
Solitaire. Right? Yeah, that's solitaire.
That's just the nature of the beast. It's randomized every time that you start, so it's not like every encounter is like a specific solution.
Sure.
And also you have a lot of ways to manipulate the field and stuff like that. So you'll get a card where it's like, I can move the value of a selected card up by 1. So it's like, if I have a 5 and there's a 5 on the field, I can turn that into a 6 and then play it.
Right.
Right. So there's a lot of things that you can do to like turn what looks like oh, I can only make one move to, oh, I just added like 10 cards to this this one round.
Yeah.
And while this is all going on, your sister is like breaking in to like DM you. Like the DMs appear like over the game.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, oh shit, like I found like this interview. I will say the one downside of this game, and I forgot that he was in it. Fucking Xalavier Nelson from Strange Scaffold Games is in here playing an author. I just don't like that dude's.
I don't know who
I don't
they
like
are.
the way Strange Scaffolding. They do all of they make like they release like 18 games a year.
Okay, sure.
And he's like the front man of that, and so he's just everywhere. He first came on the scene when he was talking about like, hey, like Baldur's Gate 3 is like a really great game. Don't expect that level from other RPGs,
Sure.
afterwards. And I'm like, this is like so not even your wheelhouse. I don't know why you're even like broaching this subject or whatever. My thing is that like he's like very much like just seems to insert himself everywhere. It's like not only is he like a game designer, but it's like, oh, I'm the voice actor and I'm also like in front of the camera for FMV scenes.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like he's kind of omnipresent, and this isn't even one of his games.
Sure.
But he was there, and when I saw him, I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's just a personal thing for me.
I get you. Yeah.
And he's only in like one bit of the game, so I thought he was going to be a bigger role. But she's sending you like, oh, here's this trailer for like this for the game or whatever, and then. And then, like, the real fucked up inscription stuff starts to happen. This game actually chilled me a couple times.
Good. All right.
It was surprisingly effective. And even just, like, the VGA-style graphics of it are very cool. Like, you get these gems, and you can purchase them to get, like, different passive effects and stuff like that.
Right.
The way that you augment yourself, it shows, like, your left hand, very VGA graphic style, like, on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now I want this gem that gives me plus 10 to my hit points, and then it just gets like embedded in your skin, and it's like bleeding around it, and it's like your hand just becomes more and more fucked up like the further you go. Like you start like implanting like gemstones in your fingertips.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
It's like a very cool cohesive visual aesthetic to the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's about 5 hours long.
It's not too bad. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. It's funny because I literally just had recorded a top 10 games that I've played of this year so far.
Yeah. And
Mixtape was on there because I was like, well, it's the 10th game that I finished and I liked it more than Legacy of Kain. So it's on there by default, but it's like, oh no, like already like Forbidden Solitaire would be like on the upper half of my list for the year. It's fucking fantastic.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it, and I also think that like it doesn't overstay its welcome, because I do think that like if it was 10 hours long, probably would have started to get a little burnt out on the Solitaire, but it's some bomb ass Solitaire, y'all.
That's
not gonna lie.
That's pretty good. You've sold me on it. That sounds great.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think you will really enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I've wish listed it, and
just buy it, Justin. Just buy it.
I might just do that. I'm just deciding what I want to do here, because there's a bundle here that I could pay like $3 and get some other random ass game. I don't know if this game's any good though. It doesn't.
What's the other one? Because it might be one of their other games. Which
Ancient Enemy. Yeah, it is. It's Gray Alien Games.
Okay, I haven't heard of Ancient Enemy, but they had done another Solitaire type game that apparently Vinny said was pretty good as well.
Ancient Enemy is an RPG card battler set in a crumbling world where the forces of evil have already won. Blast distorted enemies with a satisfying range of spells and abilities. Journey into a scarred wilderness and draw power and hope from the landscape to defeat the deadliest foe of all. Is it?
Man.
I don't know.
I might pick that up actually, because I'm very interested to see what else they've done.
Like the game itself is like $12. It's 20% off right now. This bundle is like $15.33. Yeah, why not? Because it's 48% off. Why not? Let's do that.
Actually, I wonder if I can complete that bundle and get it for.
You probably can. You probably can get it for real cheap.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to the store page right now so that I can then.
All right, we did it. We bought Forbidden Solitaire.
I'm doing that right now.
This other game, Cool Beans. My phone has buzzed in approval of this. Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
You've got homework, Justin. I expect you to come next week and tell me how awesome you think Forbidden Solitaire is.
I'll try. I'll try my best. I have an idea.
I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's not that long, and I think
that seems pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's it for me for the last couple of weeks for video games. Like I said, I've done more. I've done some demos, but I'll save those because I've got about like 4 or 5 Steam Next Fest demos downloaded right now that I want to check out. So I'll just like kind of I'll take a page from Phoebe and do a demo depot.
There you go.
Next week and just run down all the demos that I've checked out.
There you go.
Yeah. But I understand that you watched some movies, Justin.
I watched a bunch of movies, and I have them all written down.
I watched one movie.
Okay, what movie did you watch, Julian?
I watched Obsession.
Okay.
Did you watch?
I have not watched Obsession yet.
Okay, because I did tell you like last week, like you guys should go watch Obsession.
We'll probably end up renting it at some point when it comes to the home situation.
It's a really good like see that with people, and the weird thing about that movie is that it continues to have big audiences even though it's been out for almost 2 months at this point.
That's good. Yeah.
But I'll talk about that later.
Okay. Let's see. What have I watched? In what order do I want to talk about them? Let's talk about this one because I guess it kind of branches. There's some that I'm just gonna like glance over real quick, and then because there's a lot. There's some that I will talk more about because I have very complicated feelings about, like the movie The Smashing Machine.
Oh yes,
starring The Rock and that one lady,
Emily Blunt.
That's it. I have really complicated feelings about that movie. I think
I did too. Overall, I really enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Yeah,
but I it's weird. I think my like of it came a lot more from it being an exploration of an era of that sport that doesn't really get mentioned very often, which is kind of the point of the part of the point of the movie.
Yeah. When it was the Wild West, where it was just like all these disparate fighting styles.
People were figuring shit out, and it was fascinating.
I honestly wish that we could go back to that.
I agree. It was a lot more fun.
Like when I first heard about when I first saw UFC, it was like, oh, this is like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It's just like there's this sumo guy fighting this karate man.
Right.
Like that's fucking awesome.
It was. And especially Pride, which was like, that was especially an era of mixed martial arts that I was very, very fond of. Mm-hmm. I always thought they had a much more entertaining product and all this other stuff, and it's like front and center in this one, which I thought was really cool, because like UFC, like you could get money and do stuff, but like really like the big money was winning those tournaments in Japan. Like that's where they were giving away like, hey, this is life-changing shit, and you had to be pretty big time to do it. It's fascinating because like the movie's about Mark Kerr, who was a real man, who
is a real man.
He is a real
he's still
man.
Around,
and he's still alive. Yes.
And did you see him at the end?
It's really funny is slowly over the course of the movie, I was like, it opens with like The Rock as Mark Kerr doing interviews. And I'm sitting there listening to him. I was like, I feel like I've heard this interview before, I think. Or something like that. I like this is the way he's talking sounds familiar. And then like I looked up the real guy and like what he used to look like, and I was like, I remember really disliking that guy. I was like, I always rooted against him because I just thought he was super lame. And he kind of is.
You had that Ace of Base scenario for me where it's like, I hate the song I Saw the Sign.
Yeah.
but if it comes on the radio now, there's this split second moment where I was like, oh yeah, because it reminds me of a certain time and place. And I was like, wait, but I hated this song.
Mark Kerr was one of those people. Like, I just thought he was like really boring. And I think they even kind of like point that out at certain points in the movie where it's like, there's a part where he's going to train with Bas Rutten, the real Bas Rutten, which was wild. And they're going over like what the new rules are in this tournament and stuff like that, and Bas Rutten says something to the effect of like, oh, they're taking away all your weapons. I was like, yeah, because Mark Kerr used to just fucking lay on people, and that was what he did until the fucking match was over. He was boring as shit. Like all this stuff just started to come back to me. The fun parts were like, stuff would come on and I would explain it to the room. I would just be like, okay, so in this era of martial arts and stuff like that, they didn't have all this stuff, so this is what they did. I was bummed that they didn't put on like the full announcements, because that was my favorite part of Pride. The announcer for Pride was fucking awesome. That dude was great. And then they would have like the female voice to translate what he just said. It was incredible. What a time to be alive. But like, other than that, like, his story is interesting. I think there are certain aspects of it that I don't think they get into enough.
It's a bit of a sanitized biopic, like most of them are. Yeah.
They're like they mention it in passing.
Yeah. They acknowledge that he has, because it was funny because like when she was like, oh, you're high again, and I was like, I didn't realize that he had like a substance abuse problem.
Like I mean, I picked up on it a little bit, but not to the degree that they're like really saying he has it. Yes. And there's also a part where like in that training bit with Bas Rutten where Bas Rutten says, like he busts out like this like morphine or whatever, that the stuff that he's been taking, and he gives it to Bas Rutten because Bas Rutten hurts himself real bad, and like he's either gonna have to go to the hospital. He's in a lot of pain. It's the injury that ended his career and all this stuff, and he gives him this shot and he's like, don't worry, I'm not using again, this is an old thing, I'm gonna give this to you, it'll help. And Bas Rutten looks at him and he goes, you used to fight on this? Like, that's insane. And I'm like, why didn't we get into that? That's so interesting. Like,
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I would have been fascinated by that, but they kind of glance over it because they really focus on the relationship between him and his wife. And it has an amazing scene towards the end of those two. I remember Kim didn't really like the movie very much. So she kind of fell asleep and I told her about said scene later. She was like, I guess that would have been pretty good. I was like, no, it was a really good scene. It was really well done. Also fascinating that Mark Coleman is the friend character, because I do remember those two being like the kind of the pair. Mark Coleman, another guy I used to kind of think was pretty boring. But fascinating enough, from a town not too far from me. Good old Fremont, Ohio. So yeah, it was a fascinating movie. There was just certain things where I was like, really wish you would have gotten more into this and not so much some of this other stuff. But yeah, like a really cool like nostalgia piece for me, because like that is like like I said, an era that I like really hold in high regard. When it comes to mixed martial arts and stuff, I used to watch all those pay-per-views every time they'd come on. I didn't pay for them, but I'd watch them.
I thought The Rock was really good.
He did
in that role.
I agree.
I remember thinking that the choice for the soundtrack was bizarre.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really weird. I love it in spots, and I love the I really love the cinematography in it too, because it has it almost has like a vignetting to it a little bit, and it has like a certain feel to the quality of the film that's just like very of the time that it's trying to represent, which I thought was really cool. the soundtrack is fascinating with like it's just like random freeform jazz sometimes, and I was like, this is kind of good, this is kind of all right, this works. I don't know why, but it works. Yeah, fascinating movie. Didn't like, I wish I liked it a little bit more than what I do, but still overall enjoyed it.
Yeah. I remember, so I watched that with my friend Joe last time I was in Colorado, and he texted me like days after I got home, and he was like, I just realized that at the end of the movie they showed Mark Kerr load groceries into his pickup truck.
Yeah,
they're going to be all over the bed of that truck by the time he gets home.
Yeah. Have fun with that. Let's see, what else did I watch? I watched The Bride! !
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinated to hear what you think about that movie.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't really care for that movie that much. It was okay. It's been a little bit since we watched it now, so it's kind of not as fresh in my brain now. But my overall was I have written my thoughts down just so I would kind of remember, and all I wrote next to it was like, it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch. I just found it to be like, I liked it. I liked how weird it was, but there were certain bits and pieces of it that I was just like, I don't really know how this is happening. It's just really,
it's a disjointed film.
It's very disjointed.
Yeah. Well, especially the stuff with like the mafia aspect of it, like
that. There's the whole Mary Shelley thing going on. I think the actress playing, the bride is really, really good. She's fucking. Oh,
I thought she's incredible,
she does
man.
Great.
Like,
oh yeah, no, I will take nothing away from her. She is incredible in that role. That's a tough role to play for sure, because you're basically snapping back and forth between two characters. At the same time, I'm like, so is this like a ghost possession thing? Are we going to explain how this is happening? Is just no. Yes.
I like that aspect of it, that it's just like, don't worry about it. Just roll with it.
Yeah, I guess.
I think my thing is that I didn't really like Christian Bale's performance as
Frankenstein. Yeah.
And I do wish that, like, okay, if there's this mafia thing going on, it really would make more sense and be more interesting if he was part of the mafia. Like, they had a monster on in their gang. Right. And they're trying to break free because now he's found a woman and they're like on the run or whatever. But it's not that. And so much of the mafia stuff is like so far in the background, because there's that whole subplot where like, oh, she's starting this like new feminist revolution. Yeah. And she's like super recognizable, but they're still kind of getting away with doing everything they want.
There's it's very all over the place. Yeah, to the point where I kind of just at a certain point I was like, I kind of give up trying to figure out where we're going here. Yeah. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but I didn't really feel strongly about it at all.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it a lot more than most people do.
Yeah. Oh, well, to be fair, Kim loves it. Kim loves that movie. She loved the love story aspect of it. That was her thing, and I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. It's cute. Let's see. I watched Bad Boys, but not the Bad Boys you're thinking of. It's from 1983. It has Sean Penn in it. It's like a very young Sean Penn. That was a decent movie. He's like in prison. Or he's like a delinquent youth, and he goes to jail, and it's about delinquent youth jail. It's fine. It's from 1983. I always have trouble with stuff from that era because I find it just weird the way they wrote scripts back then. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something about the writing in older, like 1980, that era of film that just throws me off sometimes, because it's just like, nobody talks like this, but this is how every movie is here.
We'll have to revisit that when we watch RoboCop this month or next month.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's every 87. Movie. Yeah, it's not. This felt like almost like there's a cutoff point for it. There's a point where we start, like, it started to shift, and not every movie is like this, but it just has a feel to it that I can't explain, especially like the crime genre back then. It's interesting, but it was not a bad movie. It was perfect. It was entertaining. Why not? I'll talk about this one. I watched Hokum.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of Hokum?
Didn't really care for it too much. Really like the Silent Hill vibe of it. I think that shit's great.
That's the one where I said, like, oh, we're now at an era where I can absolutely see that these horror directors are like, no, I'm super influenced by Silent Hill.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell here. I mean, there's some really.
It's a better Silent Hill movie than the Silent Hill movie that just came out.
Right. I will 100% agree with that. I didn't find it my particular cup of tea, and it was mostly because I was like, there's a lot of like bullshit jump scares in this movie, and I'm not really super into that aspect of it.
There's that, and I really hated the main character, and and to me it's like he starts off shitty and he ends shitty.
He does, and the whole thing about it is, with the Silent Hill vibe, I really thought they were going somewhere else than where they end up going. And I was like, oh, okay, I kind of can see where you're like, they put a thread in it, and it gets semi-addressed, and like, but it's not like the main point of the movie, which I was like, okay, yeah, I can see where we're going here. This is going to be pretty interesting, actually, and how and whenever this reveal happens. And then it kind of happens, and it's like, yeah, it's just kind of, that's the side thing. That's not really that important. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. All right.
I get super bummed out when there's like a supernatural element to horror, and it's just like, yeah, but that's not, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
like,
don't worry about that. Yeah, it's weird.
Supernatural stuff happens here, but that's not what you need to worry about. And I'm like,
the ending, okay, like, I felt was like a really weird, like did it really happen? Oh, and it's, people love it. I was like, I don't really think that's for me, but
yeah, I think it's really well shot.
Oh, I agree, 100%. The vibes are great. It's a very
artistic looking horror movie.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I wasn't super into it. Let's see. Watched Bomb City. That's a good movie. It's about a real thing that happened in Arlington, Texas, like in 1997 or something. It's about this punk rock kid who gets run over by like this jock kid, and they go into the whole thing. Actually, pretty decent movie. It was on Prime. Did not hate that. Learned about a thing that I'd never really heard of, but was pretty interesting. God, what else? I watched Kraken. You don't need to watch Kraken. It's a movie from, like, I don't know, the area of Norway that the Netherlands or whatever that is considered. You know the spot in Europe. It's not in English. It's about a Kraken. That's pretty much it. I mean, the Kraken attacks a research facility. I mean, did
Liam Neeson release it beforehand?
No, he did not.
Oh.
No one says release the Kraken at any point. Unwatchable. No, when you see the preview and you're like, I know exactly what this movie's going to be. It's kind of like a Jaws, but not really near as good. Yeah. But it's with a Kraken, and you're like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. It was fun enough. I was like, I had a good time making fun of it a lot of the time.
You were cracking up.
I was cracking up, indeed. I watched Masters of the Universe in the theater.
Hell yeah.
That's a good movie. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Fun ride all the way through. Really good humor about a series that, like, no offense to John Gholson, I kind of think is semi-ridiculous sometimes, and kind of...
Oh, no, he'll agree with you.
Oh, yeah. I think anybody does, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, because, I've been pretty stunned that it did as poorly as it did.
Yeah.
And you know, John's whole thing was like, oh no, it's a sign that like Gen X like nostalgia is finally like fading out, and
Sure.
it needs to fade out. It's like, yeah, but to me it was never framed as like this is for us. To me it was, this is for the next generation of kids,
Sure.
because like He-Man and Skeletor is cool and like kids will like this, and for the old people, like you'll like it too. I think maybe they probably should have framed it as more of a comedy, because it is the Brady Bunch movie to the Brady Bunch TV show equivalent.
Yeah, I can
where
agree with
it is
that.
a spoof of the original material, and it should be spoofed, because like
It should be. Yeah.
you know, so even Thundercats has like more weight and gravitas to like they
Yes.
tried, right?
Yeah.
There's more attempt at like having fleshed out characters and lore in Thundercats than there is in He-Man.
Yeah.
And I love that about this movie, where
Right.
where it's like, oh yeah, like this kid didn't remember the names of the people that were around him when he was 10, so he just like came up with these names based on what he remembered about them.
Yeah.
But he's so earnest about it that it just sticks, and they're actually like, you know what, I am Ram Man.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
That's
now.
what he
That's
does.
fine.
He rams.
Yeah,
Fisto fists.
he does.
That's what he does.
It's so brazenly pure about what it is.
Yeah.
And again, I really do liken it to the Wachowskis' Speed Racer movie.
Sure.
Because I've always told people that, like, if you watch the first 5 minutes of Speed Racer and aren't locked in based on when when Speed is just imagining himself at his desk and it turns into like a kid's drawing of him like racing,
Yeah.
if that doesn't spark joy, just turn the movie off.
Right.
Right. And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, if Masters of the Universe is not sparking joy in you, like, when you just stop, because like that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's so well exemplified at the very end when they just do we're just going to laugh uproariously at the end of this adventure.
Right. Yeah.
And with our hands on our hips. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's so fucking perfect.
That's what they do. Yeah. No. It's great. It made a lot of good jokes. The
Action I thought was good. I think
action
the
was
soundtrack's
fun.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I loved some of the character changes. Like I thought they were. I like Tila is not just constantly getting herself into some sort of shit that He-Man needs to bail her out from. She's actually she's probably the most competent character in the whole thing. I was like, thank God, Tila deserves a fucking break. So yeah, it was good.
I just love the whole like thing of like, no, I am a strong fighter man, and this is like a big power fantasy, but I also would just like to try to talk it out.
Yeah.
And then having like Man-at-Arms be like, I can't do that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying, but I can't really express those, whatever you have in there.
Yeah.
And I literally saw a take, man, it's insane, right wingers that experience media, because
Oh yeah.
I
It's
literally
always fun.
saw a take online from a right winger who was like, I just saw Masters of the Universe. It's so great to finally have a movie that shows how terrible it is to be like this woke like soy boy, and that he comes back to Eternia at where like masculinity is praised and everything. It's like, that is the literal opposite of what that movie's about.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, the mental gymnastics you had to do to get to that point.
Yeah. No, that's
We're
people
living
do.
in completely like two completely different universes.
It's always insane. Yeah, it really is. It's nuts. But that movie was great. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
I did pre-order the 4K because I was like,
Absolutely.
physical movies are selling out pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
and that's one. And that's the other thing, right, Justin? The thing that's really blowing my mind, like I almost have like a conspiracy theory around this movie, because everybody online, as far as like media outlets and stuff, are like, oh, it was a huge bomb, nobody liked it, blah blah blah. And it's like, I have seen nothing but universal praise for the movie.
Yeah, same.
The merchandise is sold out. The movie merchandise is sold out, like the stuff like the popcorn buckets and stuff.
Yeah.
And also the Blu-ray is like it was like the #1 bestseller on Amazon. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? I feel like I'm being gaslit into thinking that like this is a bad movie.
The only like criticism I seen when I tried to look for some, like I tried to find like a more negative review of it just to see what, somebody said about it. And the only like, and I do think there is merit to this argument. It was they were like, well, the modern day bit is a little like weird, and I'm not sure if I liked that. And I was like, yeah, I guess, but at the same time, I tried to think of like, okay, well, what could you have done? And it was like, if you don't do that bit, then it becomes like a complete like it's just a comedy movie at that point. Because
it's either just a comedy movie or it is what that right wing chud was talking about, where it is just like the male power fantasy.
It doesn't really work. And I was like,
I think it's crucial having him grow up on Earth and working in HR and
they play off of it really well at the end of the movie too. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I don't hate that at all. Like I get why somebody could think that way.
I cannot imagine anybody seeing him like because the beginning is him like kind of telling his backstory,
right? And
then you realize he's telling this to a first date.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Oh God, no! It's so
it's great. It's really funny. Yeah, no, it's really...
And I love the fact that like his roommate is like, again, like there's so much like at play with like masculinity, where his roommate is like totally into like tearjerker romance movies.
Right.
But he tries to play it off like, oh, bro, I'm sorry, I thought you're home early, bro, and he's like wiping tears away from his cheek.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It's very fun. Let's see. I will talk about the 2 Samara Weaving movies I've watched. One was good, one was not as good, but the one that's not as good, I have more to say about because it's one of the it's an absolute trip what happened to me in that movie. The good one is Over Your Dead Body, which is a movie about it has who's the other guy? Jason Segel. He's in the movie, and basically he is planning to take his wife Samara Weaving out to this cabin and murder her. The notch in the movie is that she kind of finds out about that and is now going to try to kill him. So they're basically both trying to kill each other. Mm-hmm. And the movie goes from there. It's really good. I liked it a lot. Okay. It was very fun. The humor is very, very good. It definitely takes some very unexpected turns. It was a very fun movie to watch.
That's one where I saw the trailer and I was like, I have no interest in seeing a movie where like this couple hates each other so much they're trying to murder each other. But then I saw Ready or Not 2 and I was like, oh, I actually really like Samara Weaving a lot, so now I do want to see this movie. And
it's actually the first movie where like she's not like using like an American accent. She's actually like she's Australian, and like she's just talking like her in it, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
So that was a different take on seeing her as an actress, I guess. Definitely recommend watching it. It's very good. Jason Segel's great. Samara Weaving's great. There's some other members of the cast that are really fun, and I didn't expect to be in the movie. Like I said,
always a plus.
It goes some places where I was like, oh, I did not expect this to be here, but it remains pretty funny, and yet still like it kind of in that like tone of a lot of what her movies are, where it's just like, there's serious shit happening, but it's also funny. Like it's great.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely worth watching. The other one I watched of hers is it was like a Hulu exclusive movie, and it's called Eenie, Meanie. Now it's not a great movie. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's a great movie. The premise is she's like a getaway driver. She was a getaway driver when she was like a teenager, because it was just how she decided to like get by and all this stuff or whatever. She grows up and gets out of that life and is trying to make her, life better. You can kind of see where this goes. She finds out she's pregnant, needs money and all this other stuff, kind of gets dragged back into things from her ex-boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't super great of a movie. The biggest problem I had with it is the boyfriend character is he's just Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. It's just a man trying to emulate that character like the entire time. Like it's not even remotely subtle. Like I was just like, did you just like watch Breaking Bad yesterday and you're just gonna do that the whole movie? Okay, great, perfect. Now the fascinating part of the movie, and one I didn't expect, is so the movie takes place in Cleveland, which is about an hour away from where I live. So for full disclosure, I will say it, and I don't really care. I live in Sandusky, Ohio. Okay. It is a small, shitty little town. We have Cedar Point here. That's our big fucking thing. That's it. Hold on. Yeah.
Hold on. How many of you listeners figured it out based on context clues over the course of years? I figured it out because Justin's actually never told me either.
Oh, well, there you go. That's where I live. I guess I thought I told Julian that, but then again, I didn't. But now, in earlier seasons, I didn't live there, but I moved back since. That's my hometown and all this other stuff.
Yeah. Famously featured in Wayne's World.
Also famously featured in Tommy Boy, which it was the main town in. And here's where this gets interesting, because I watched Tommy Boy, and when they say, like, they give this whole big fucking intro about Sandusky, Ohio, what a great little fucking blue collar town this is. And then they start showing pieces of the town. And I was a kid, and I remember watching the movie with my mom and going, Mom, where are these parts in town? I want to go see those. Those look pretty cool. And she was like, none of that's here. She was like, I don't know where they filmed this, but that's not here. And I was so fucking disappointed.
It's a trip when you actually see your town in a movie. So, Road Trip, with, the Tom Green movie from like 2002 or 3 or whatever.
Right.
There's a part where they go to Austin, and it's like, oh, that's actually Austin. I know. They're on I-35 right now. That's crazy.
Right.
And then it's not, I don't think that it's explicitly said where they're at, but in Death Proof from Quentin Tarantino, part of the Grindhouse movies.
Yes.
That's straight up Austin.
Yeah.
And like you can see the original Alamo Draft House in the background at a certain point in that movie.
That's pretty dope.
Like the original location.
Hell yeah. So you've lived that, and now I have too.
Excellent.
So the movie, like I said, takes place in Cleveland for the most part, but the big job is taking place in Toledo, Ohio, which is, an hour in the other direction. We're like weirdly between these two fucking cities. It's strange. Anyway, so the one thing I will praise the movie for real quick is I'm pretty sure they did all of like the car chase scenes, because it's a driving movie, right? She's a getaway driver. They did all of those with like actual cars and like did all the stunts and shit like that. That shit was really cool. And those scenes are really dope.
It's nice that there is kind of a kind of concerted effort to get back to that.
Right. Yeah. Because I'll talk about another movie that I just remembered that I watched and forgot to write down. They did all that, and in fact, I would have probably liked the movie a lot more had they done more of them. But there's one, and it's the big scene. They're stealing this car from a casino. They work out this whole heist, and she gets in the car and she starts driving, and her rival starts chasing her, and it's this whole big thing. And it was my mom that noticed it. She was looking in the background. She goes, are they in Sandusky right now? And I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, they are. What the and like, they're driving down the road, Julian, that I drive to work every fucking day. And I'm like, holy shit, there's all that. And she's like, yeah, there's the donut house. What the fuck? Like, we're all just like losing our minds.
You almost expect to go out the front door and see them like drive by.
And it's hilarious because we rewound it a few times to watch all the details. And there's parts. So they're running from the Toledo police, and the police cars are the Toledo police department cars. But if you look in the background, there's a Sandusky Police Department car that's blocking off part of the street so they could film it. And I remembered them filming, like, some people were talking about, like, they filmed, like, the part of Perkins Ave is closed because that's the road it's on. Because, you know, like, they're filming some movie and they're doing all sorts of shit. We don't really know what they're doing, but, like, you know, it's a whole big thing. You can't go down that road today. It's like, oh, okay, no, cool. That's neat that's happening. I assumed it was some fucking movie I'd never watch.
Samara Weaving was in your town, Justin.
She was. It's crazy. And the best part is the culmination of it. It's funny because knowing the road, I'm like, logically this doesn't make sense. They would have had to be going in the other opposite direction, but it's a movie. I'm just gonna let it go. But they end it on the Sandusky Speedway, a racetrack I used to go to every Friday as a kid, so I knew it pretty fucking well. So they go on the racetrack and it says Sandusky Speedway in the background. I'm just like, this is a fucking mind-blowing experience right now. Like there's a kid sitting in the stands. I'm like, those are the pit stands. That's where like if you had a car, like that's where the pit crews would sit to watch the races. So if their car crashed, they could run back into the pits real quick. And like we used to sit next to that because we could watch all of them. And also my grandpa owned a race car, and so sometimes he would have to run back to the pits, and it was a whole fucking thing. So I was like, this is fucking wild. Yeah, what a trip to see that. And I never had that ever, and probably never will again, but what an experience.
Sometimes you just randomly drop some Ham family lore.
Yeah.
That just, I'm like stunned. You're like, oh yeah, we used to own a restaurant. And it's like, oh, my grandpa owned like a race car. And you just like, let that.
My grandpa owned a race car. Yes. He owned a what is called a super modified race car. Every now and then it would win too. It was actually pretty cool. Yeah, it was a weird little bit of my backstory, but yeah, we owned a restaurant and a race car, both in Sandusky, Ohio. The restaurant the building's still there, but it's not. I think it's a Subway now, which is really sad.
That seems correct.
Yeah. It's kind of funny in its own way.
It was either going to be a Subway or a Mattress Firm.
Yeah, either one, right? Anyway, yeah, what a fucking trip, man. We watched that shit a few times because we were just all like, man, this is wild. Like, especially what road it was. Like I said, I've been down that road so many. It's one of the main roads here, like 100%. Like it's kind of like where a lot of the stuff is in town. And then you go off in any other direction, it's just nothing but like neighborhoods and houses and shit. Yeah, like what a trip, man. That shit was wild. So yeah, Eenie Meanie, if you want to see what Sandusky looks like without having to go there and visit that piece of shit, you can do that. The other movie that I just thought of that I remembered I watched was Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
That was pretty good. That is it is like it is the most like Yakuza video game movie that you'll ever see, in my opinion. Like it just felt like that structurally.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like the more I was watching it, I was just like, man, everything about this reminds me of the Yakuza video. It's not even because the Yakuza are actually in it, right? They're like
just the batshit stuff that happens.
The batshit stuff that happens. The level of escalation of who the bad guys are and all this other shit. I just couldn't help but stop laughing about it. I was just like, this is nuts. I love this.
And I couldn't help but laugh every time Stephen Root would come into the scene and be like, you boys you can't do this Wrecking Crew shit, blah, blah, blah. And in the very next scene, oh, here's this information that we have from the case.
Yeah. It's great.
Because the plot needs to move forward now. So.
We need to move forward. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I went into that movie with zero expectations, and I was like super surprised and loved the chemistry between those two.
Yeah, they were good.
Really shocked, not because I'm squeamish, but I was just shocked at how fucking violent that movie is.
God, yeah. That shit was wild. I loved it was funny when I was looking up the cast of that movie, the main like Yakuza bad guy, his name was Nakamura in the movie.
He looks so badass.
He was awesome, and he's a Japanese musician. And I was like, is he? I know that name. His name's Miyavi, all in caps. If you want to look that up. And I was like, where do I know that name from? And I was like, oh, he's the guy that did the song to that one anime that it's called, the song's called Flashback. I cannot remember what the name of the anime is called. It's a fucking banger. Like it's one of the best anime intros you'll ever see. And like the anime apparently is garbage, so you don't need to waste your time with that. But like the intro's fucking awesome. And the song is like the main part of why it's awesome. I was like, man, I didn't realize this guy was such a badass at fucking playing this kind of role, but he's super doing great here. It was cool. It was a cool movie. I had a lot of fun with that one.
I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's called Kokoku.
Yes, that's the name of it.
It's the anime. So
yes.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Yeah. No, not a lot of people have. And like I said, definitely worth watching just the intro to it, because the intro is fucking awesome.
I'll do that in editing.
Absolutely. The song's great. It's fucking dope. And then finally my favorite movie that I watched, and maybe on my all-time list now. I'm very, very late to the dance on this one. What's that?
We already talked about Masters of the Universe.
Well, no. I watched the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay. No, that's valid.
Yeah.
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 Never mind. Okay.
I watched that movie, Julian. I was like, okay, this may be on my all-time list. That was an amazing fucking movie.
One of those rare films that I've watched where it had already been hyped up to the stratosphere and surpassed my expectations.
I remember that hype, and it was like kind of on HBO Max, and I was like going through movies, and it was like, oh, this is leaving soon. I was like, I have always wanted to watch that, and it was surprisingly Kim had never seen it, and I was like, yeah, can we watch this? I really want to see it. And she agreed, and I don't even know where to start with that movie. It's like both amazing action wise, like really, really cool concept and plot, and just very unique.
Yeah.
It
feels like a movie that should not exist.
Yeah. Like weirdly meta at certain points, and like it kind of a way that super works. And then like one of the most emotional like endings that I've seen in like a long time, like where like I am like very much tearing up right now, and this is really, really good.
Yes.
What a fucking movie. That is a great film. Holy shit.
I need to watch it again. I've only seen it the one time.
Yeah.
I watched it one time that I was visiting my friends in Colorado, and I have to say that the butt plug fight scene is the hardest that I have laughed.
Yeah, and that's the other part I forgot to mention. Very funny as well, and not like what a great movie. Just all around, like the hot dog universe. Like I was just like, this is so bizarre and crazy. Yeah. What a movie. If you've never seen that, you should. It's good. It's very good. As a person who has been out of the movie, scene for a while, watching that one, I was like, man, I see why people were talking about this so much. This is great.
Really cool to see the actor who played
Short Round
in Indiana Jones. Like that was his first movie back in 30 years or more.
Yes. And he's great. He's
that was
amazing.
Really cool. There's like this really heartwarming bit that came out of where he was like at some Hollywood event, and Harrison Ford was there. Yeah. And he was like, oh, he's not going to remember me. And then the instant Harrison Ford saw him, he was just like I think he's like, oh, Short Round. He like grabbed him into a big hug or it was like, oh, that's so sweet.
That's great. That's awesome.
He did a follow-up movie after that I want to check out, where he's like an assassin.
Huh.
But it's like a love story.
Interesting.
I want to say it's called Love Hurts or something like that.
Yeah.
The trailer looked really good, and then I just didn't get around to seeing it. And I want to say that I saw it on Prime recently, so I still want to check that out. He was so good in
he was really good. This one, everybody was really good in that movie. It's a great movie.
Jamie Lee Curtis can still get it, even when she's in like old lady wardrobe.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, still would.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie. Definitely go out of your way if you haven't already. Again, I'm very late to the party on it, and I was like, no, this I'm super glad I watched that. It was that's like I said, as soon as it was done, like I think a few hours later, I was like, that might be in my top 10, and it very easily, and may start creeping up as the more I think about it.
Very well. I will permit you to like Everything Everywhere All at Once over Masters of the Universe.
Thank you.
Fine.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun action comedy movie versus one of the best movies to come out in the last decade.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. And that is all of the films that I've watched that I remembered. So there you go.
Yeah, like I said, I've only seen the one movie, which is Obsession. I went to go see that in the theater.
Yeah.
And that's a movie where when I saw the trailer initially, I was like, I mean, that sounds like an interesting premise. It feels very much like a Tales from the Crypt episode turned into a movie. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like that, I can ignore that.
Sure.
And then John in the Discord was like, Obsession is incredible. Holy shit. And then someone else echoed that. And then I just kept hearing it more and more. And I was like, all right, let me go check out this movie. This seems like something that I should go check out. And the funny thing is that when I went to go see it, I think I saw it the same weekend as Masters of the Universe. And I went to, it was kind of a late show if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And keep in mind, this is like a good 3 weeks after it's been out at this point.
Right.
And it was damn near sold out.
Wow.
Like, even when I went to go buy my ticket, I was like, oh, I have to actually sit next to somebody because there's no more room on this row.
Yeah.
The only stuff that was left was in the very, very front, and I hate being in the very, very front.
Oh, yeah, so, you don't want to do that, no.
Yeah. I still think that it is basically a Tales from the Crypt episode on steroids.
Sure. Yeah.
And when I got out of the movie, I was like, I think that was a little bit overhyped, but I did enjoy it. But I have not been able to stop thinking about it since I watched it. So there's something to this movie that's something special. And it completely succeeds on the back of the lead actress, Indy Navarrete.
Right.
Who puts out such a performance that she should get a Oscar nomination, and I know she won't because it's a horror movie, and historically they do not like horror, but god damn it, she deserves a nomination because she is fucking fire in this movie.
Okay.
So the premise, if you don't know, for Obsession is like all of these like young people work at this music store, and the main character Bear, his name's Baron, but they all call him Bear. He has this big crush on, well, I guess he says he's in love with this girl that he works with, Nikki.
Sure.
And like he keeps saying that he wants to he needs to tell her how he feels and everything. Yeah. His best friend, who also works at the store, is encouraging him and everything, but he kind of can't find the words to do it.
Sure.
And she lost like this like crystal that she used to wear. And so he goes to like this like specialty shop and he's looking for a crystal, but he doesn't find or no, I think he does. No, he doesn't find what he's looking for, but they're selling this thing called like a will-o-wisp, like a wishing will-o-wisp or something like that. I forget.
Okay.
Wishing willow. Wishing willow. And it's a thing where it's like you take it out and you make a wish and you crack it.
Sure.
And it is very important to note that every vibe that she gives him is friend coded.
Sure, yeah.
To the point that even the suggestion of them being an item from someone else, like suggesting it, makes her like instinctively go, oh, ew, like without even thinking about it, right? Dude still thinks that he's got a shot.
Yeah.
But he can't work up the courage to say anything. And so then he makes the wish that he wishes that she loved him more than anybody in the world.
Right.
And things go from there the way that you would expect if you've ever seen an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
But the escalation of it is so fucking insane.
I believe it.
And like her performance, this is going to be a very poor imitation, but like there's a part where at night she's just watching him sleep.
Okay.
And then he's like, you need to come to bed. And she kind of has a freak out, but he like gets her to calm down and like come back to bed. And then he can't sleep. And so he starts to like get up, and then she's just like facing him with her eyes closed. And she's just like, stay. And it's like, oh boy. Okay. And that's like the beginning.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Of the movie.
Okay.
It's incredible, dude.
Sounds good. Sounds
But
real
again,
good.
I think if any other actress was in that role, movie just comes and goes with like not another
yeah,
thought.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where it's like I told my friend Shan, I was like, oh, we're watching Obsession like next time that I
Gotcha.
Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
And like I said, it's like if y'all can make it to a theater, it is a very fun theater experience.
For sure. For sure. We're actually going tomorrow to watch live professional wrestling at the Sandusky Mall.
There you go.
So
the next best thing.
Yeah, the next best thing. God. Yeah, oh man, I can't. I have to see if anybody's improved. It's gonna be great.
That is the fun part of getting into an indie wrestling scene is seeing the improvement over time.
Yeah, I want to see who's come and gone, who's new, who's gotten better since the last time, or if they have, let's find out,
And you're in the prime neck of the woods for like people getting called up to like OVW and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or what used to be OVW.
Yeah.
So
not necessarily here. I would have to go to like Cleveland for that stuff.
But those wrestlers are going to be traveling that general area.
For sure. Yeah. These guys seem like very much like pretty amateurish. At least that was the impression I got last time I watched it. I went, the one indie show I went to, I was like, holy shit, like looking back at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've seen MJF, Danhausen, fucking.
Oh, you got to see MJF when he was in?
Yeah. I didn't.
Good. I did too. I saw him a few times.
He didn't wrestle, but he was there. He like did commentary. And then when I left the show, he was outside, like talking with a bunch of people, and I was terrified to approach him.
Oh man, that was the thing. Like, I knew that he was going to be something special because even when he was at his merch table, he was
in character.
He was on.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's always on.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, I'm not going to approach him because I don't want to get slaughtered. I don't need that in my life. I'm going to leave him alone. But yeah, like, God, Scott Steiner was there because you always have to have your one old callback for to get the people in there, I guess.
Sure.
Who else? Nick Gage was there. Joey Janela was there.
Saw Joey Janela before.
Yeah. They had an insane fucking hardcore ladder match or whatever the hell that was. That shit was wild. But yeah, it was a fun show. Anyway, it doesn't matter. These guys are not that.
No.
So I'm curious. I want to see if I got to go and make some judgments and see what's going on at the Sandusky Mall for the Father's Day wrestling. Oh, what a trip! But yeah, looking forward to that.
Hell yeah. Well, Justin, that's it for us for the weeks. But before we get out of here, we have been sitting on some comments, questions, or concerns.
All right.
Or CQC. If you want to get at us, there's plenty of ways. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the show posts over on Patreon or Spotify or YouTube. Or you can join our Discord, and there is a channel in there for comments, questions, concerns. We're actually going to start with a comment from YouTube from Lordly Weeb. Thanks for commenting again. It's always funny when it's like we get something like this. It's like, oh, yeah, there's other people that listen to the show besides the 10 that regularly interact with us. But this is in reference to episode 105, the Summer Game Awards Fest 3 from last week. They say the Xenoblade Switch 2 editions are $10 each if you already have the games. I understand it can sting to get them each at $70 if you don't have them, but at least they're adding new content to each of them. Yeah. You may be able to find them physically on sale somewhere. They do. They also do sometimes go on sale for like $20 off or so.
Yeah.
Like that's great that they are doing like the $10 upgrade if you have them. That's something that Sony has gotten away from that I think is really shitty. So good on Nintendo for still offering that. But I still come back to I feel it's fucking criminal to charge $70 like for. I would have to see how much extra content they actually added, right? Like to make the math for me, because I just feel that like, because there's the Square Enix tax, there's also the Nintendo tax, right? Where it's like you're just paying more for comparable things. My thing is like, just let's do better. But having the $10 upgrade, that's good. But my thing is that I don't own them, or I don't own the Switch versions anyway. And it would have been nice to like be able to get them all for like $30 a pop, because that would have been a no-brainer for me. $70 each for them, nah, son. Like that's just not, that will just go down as, because it's a Nintendo exclusive like series. That's just going to be a thing where it's like, I guess I'm never playing those because I'm not interested enough to pay full price, and their games don't go on sale significantly enough for me to jump in, especially when I'm trying to go through like the whole Trail series. So but I do appreciate that. They also went on to say, also that bit about Metaphor releasing a new version isn't true at all. Atlas never said they were going to do that. In fact, they explicitly said they're not doing Golden/Royal/Vengeance style re-releases anymore. The version of Metaphor out now will be the only one. And I did address at the top of the show, but I wanted to read their comment because just because Atlas said they're not doing that anymore doesn't mean jack shit to me.
And they're guilty until proven innocent in that one.
Right. I think that they absolutely are going to do an upgraded version of Metaphor, but I think what it's going to be is that they're going to do the smart thing, which is, hey, if you already own the game, you can just buy the expansion for $30. Instead of having to buy a brand new
that would be the right way to do that.
Right. That's what people have always complained about. It's not that they do it. It's that, oh, you have to buy an entirely brand new game.
It makes people like me to go, well, I'll just wait till the good version's out because that's the one that's going to have all the stuff. So why buy the base game?
I didn't mind double dipping on Persona 5 because like I enjoyed playing the vanilla version, and then it's like, oh, I kind of want to see the Royal version, but I also didn't pay full price for the Royal version because it had been out for a handful of years.
That is another thing you can do is like, well, it is a full other game, but it does go on sale, so it's not like a Nintendo franchise where it never will. So there is that.
But I do agree that like they can't continue to do it the way they've been doing it. If they're going to make an upgraded version, you have to be able to just upgrade.
I agree.
The base game.
They
literally just announced a new expansion for The Witcher 3, and everybody rejoiced because you can just buy that. Like, you don't need to buy The Witcher 3 again.
Right. It made sense in the era when, the internet wasn't as prominent, like where like things were on PlayStation 2 and stuff like that. So, hey, here's this other version of the game that has a bunch of different stuff in it. Because, you couldn't download an upgrade for it at that point.
Right. And so to piggyback off of that, I also do expect that if they do a upgrade version of Metaphor, there will be a disc of that is $70 or $60 or whatever.
For people that haven't picked it up yet. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, because by that point, it's like, the game is probably the original game would probably cost you about like $30, and then the expansion would be about $30 or whatever. So there you go.
There you go. Just charge a full price product and have a physical version for the super fan collector out there. You might as well,
Right.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. All right. Rest of these are going to be over from our Discord, starting with Casey. I'm going to read this exactly as written. Let's see if we can parse it, because when I read it initially, I did not understand it.
Justin. Oh, boy.
If you could take one developer under a big publisher and give them to another big publisher, what would those three choices be? Letting them go indie isn't an option.
And let them go to another big publisher. I mean, that's basically. I mean, why is there three choices? That's weird.
I know that. Yeah,
Casey, I love you, but this question is kind of written.
What would?
What would? Interesting. Yeah. I can't say. Sometimes things enter your brain and then you type and then you're like, that's not what I wanted, but it's too late.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
I'm going to cheat a little bit because they already closed.
Sure.
But, and I already alluded to this last week, I would take Nagoshi Studios and put them under Capcom.
Sure.
Because I really wanted Gang of Dragon.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, I think that Capcom could really benefit from having that type of game under their umbrella.
Yeah, for sure. Let me think. Game developer under a big publisher and let. This is complicated. I would, I'd like to say get Obsidian out of Bethesda or out of Microsoft and put them under like. See, I don't think it counts though if you put them under like Larian or something, because that's almost like indie. It's almost like weird.
Yeah,
indie.
That's still indie. They're not a big publisher.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, right? It's like where you put them, because my obvious knee-jerk reaction is get BioWare away from EA, but I don't know where you put them that they don't get fucked just as hard.
Yeah. That well. If you the outlier there is, I would kind of consider CD Projekt a bigger publisher, so maybe them.
That yeah, I guess so, because they have GOG under them as well,
right?
I guess that counts. That's yeah.
It's
okay.
I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough. Like it's an interesting time in video games because like there are the behemoths, the fucking corporations, your EAs, your formerly Activisions, but now that's Microsoft. There's Sony, that sort of thing. But there's also these other ones like your Rockstars, which Rockstar's huge, but they only put out one game every so fucking often. That's it. That's what they do. CD Projekt's the same way. Like they're big. They make a lot of money, but they only put out a game every so often. They're not really like.
To their credit, they have staffed up to have multiple teams now because they've got a Witcher remake, they've got Witcher 4, and they're working on Cyberpunk 20, like the next Cyberpunk game. They seem to have like, okay, yeah, we're in here, we're one of these now, and that's cool. Yeah. That's good for them. We'll see how that goes. And by no means would I consider CD Projekt like the underdog at all. So no. I was just thinking that like. I don't know if you can count them as a big publisher since they have such a small umbrella.
Right.
But when you factor in like good old games to the equation, they probably fit this criteria. See, if this was 15 years ago, I would have said, oh, take BioWare away from EA and take them, like put them back under Microsoft, like let them go back home where, where Mass Effect 1 started.
I mean, honestly, that's not really the worst idea.
Justin, can I refer you to the first 20 minutes of this episode?
I know. Yeah, no, I know. Hear me out. It's it's not the worst idea I've ever heard. That would be like a really good move for Microsoft, because then you get like, if you could swing it, you get the people that made KOTOR, which was a big deal under the original Xbox. You get Mass Effect, which was, a big deal when that came out for Xbox.
Yeah. I think people still associate Mass Effect with Xbox.
Absolutely, I do too. Yeah. So there's a lineage there that they could play off of. They need big franchises is what they need. What they've been trying has been like, okay, well, we're gonna get these studios that make these games, but none of them have like a real big franchise, but we're gonna try to get them to make like a big franchise for us and hope that goes well. And so far it really hasn't. But if you had someone like BioWare with that, I think people would be at least interested in that. I mean, you and I would be like, oh boy, I don't know how this is going to go well. But I could see the other side of the coin being, well, at least it's not EA, because people would just really have a negative view of EA, and rightfully so. EA is
especially now that they have that Saudi buyout.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I do not have any well, okay, it's funny that like we didn't think about it. We've come another year has come and gone with like no peep from Mass Effect, you know, the new one. So
yeah.
But I also, if that game does see the light of day, I don't trust that like the Saudi government does not have like a lot of like say in how those characters are portrayed. Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. And to get them out of that, because I don't know where else you would put BioWare.
Yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it.
Yeah. They're not like really a Japanese developer, obviously. They have a very Western sensibility when it comes to developing games, and they make a certain type of game.
You could maybe put them with Bandai Namco, because Bandai Namco has a pretty good like Western pipeline.
I forget about them a lot. Yeah,
because I would consider them a big publisher.
I would too.
Yeah, that would kind of be interesting.
They would kind of be free to do their own stuff at that point. They'd almost be like a FromSoft, because that's kind of what FromSoft does. They usually publish under Bandai Namco.
That's where I got the idea.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then and the interesting thing there would be like, well, okay, let's. On one hand, if you put them in the Microsoft camp, right? I could see Microsoft really going all in and like, you guys just tell us what you need for this next Mass Effect, and we will get you that stuff, because we know Mass Effect's a big deal. People are chomping at the bit for a new Mass Effect. Mm-hmm. Like, make it as good as you can. Here's all this money, blah, blah, blah. Bandai Namco route would be like, it would be all up to them. You know, like, if depending on who's there now, you know, and I don't know, like, or they wouldn't have probably, you know, Big Brother looking over their shoulders so much. But now if that game comes out and it doesn't do very well, they're kind of in a real bad spot. Whereas with Microsoft, they kind of can get by on the game and the franchises that they have a little bit more. Maybe, but then again, Microsoft's fucking ruthless right now of just get rid of everything.
I think that if BioWare's next game is not a bona fide success, they're done no matter who owns them.
I 100% agree, and that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not the same BioWare. That
it's not, because you were talking about, they get the people that make KOTOR. It's like none of those people are there anymore.
No. I didn't mean it so much like that. I meant it as like, you and I know that, like, that it's not the same BioWare. But there's still people like, they made they could really spin the legacy of these guys with Xbox. Like, it's definitely, it would be a good look for them, but at the same time, it's also an awful look, because you just cut all these other fucking companies and now you're buying this one. So what are we even doing? It's complicated. But I guess BioWare's an interesting one. I am trying to think of who the hell I'd want to get anywhere else. I guess. It's tough. I guess that's a good answer though. Was that? Fuck, man. I blank when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's a tough question, really, because especially of the situation in games right now.
Yeah, especially with the way things are right now, because it's like there's only so many big publishers, and they're all varying levels of fucked right now.
In their own ways. Like, most of the time, he's like, they can't go indie. I'm like, well, that's kind of what I wish they would do. Or like, I wish every studio would become like a Larian and just make the games that they want to do, and have the money to tell everybody to fuck off if they don't like it. That's what I wish for everybody, but I know that's not possible in this question.
And like a lot of the Japanese publishers, like, they're doing the shit right. So it's like, I don't want to take, the Resident Evil team away from Capcom, because they're fucking on fire right now.
Great. Yeah. Like, there's no sense in that. I'm trying to think, like, it's tough to think of like a franchise that's not doing super great at the moment and move them somewhere where they could do better, because you have that corporate aspect to so many of the big publishers right now that it's just it seems ugly, like real ugly.
Like they're already closed, but if the Octopath Traveler team still existed, I would get them away from Square Enix and put them at Capcom, because I do think that
would be cool.
Capcom is missing an RPG component to their catalog.
Yeah, they could either do Octopath or Breath of Fire or something like. Yeah,
people want the Breath of Fire back.
Yeah,
but they don't have anybody really at the company anymore that can make that knows an RPG.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that is one thing that they seem to be missing. Although I think those like Monster Hunter games are somewhat turn-based or something.
True,
like
the
that.
Monster Hunter story games.
Yeah. So get whoever's making those games into someone else. I don't know.
Baltar agrees.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, what's the next question?
Let's see. John Gholson asks, is Leon Kennedy related to RFK Jr.? All Kennedys are related.
I was going to say no. Because, I mean, if we look at our friend Jacob Washington, he is not related to George Washington. He is related to the fine folks at Washington Heating and Cooling, but not, George Washington.
Well, yeah, but that's but the Kennedys, they're all Kennedys are related, including Mr. Kennedy.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But not the former MTV VJ turned right-wing pundit Kennedy, which breaks my heart every time that I see her like on like a thing, because I'm like, I had the biggest crush on you. What happened to you?
Huh. I don't know if I remember her.
Oh man, Kennedy was the best on MTV.
Oh, no.
And now she's the worst on Fox News.
Oh god. Now I need to see who this Kennedy VJ. Just type that in. She had glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember her at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that might have been before I started watching MTV.
It was like, she would have been like around like 93-ish.
Mid-90s, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember them, but that's fine. I'm glad I don't know. Yeah. Perfect. Lisa Kennedy. Yeah, Freedom Fest. Go see her, Julian.
Oh, is that?
I don't know what Freedom Fest is. I just seen it. That was a thing that was underneath an image I was looking at. I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next from 60X Self, have you ever spaced out so hard sitting on the toilet that you can't remember if you pooped?
I've never done that, no. Good question, though.
I've never done that, but there have been times when I was sure that I pooped and then turned out that I had not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's all sound and fury amounting to nothing.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you'll have that. No, I've never done that. I do like a long bathroom trip though. Sometimes you get a lot of stuff done in those if you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Xrian asks, who's worse to deal with? People who are always cold or people who are always hot?
People who are always hot.
I think it's people who are always cold.
Oh no, people who are always hot. That's because you're probably always warm.
I live in fucking Texas, Justin. We're always warm.
Yeah. See, here it's different. Like when it's cold,
you can always put more layers on.
This is true.
At a certain point, I can't get any nakeder.
Yeah, that's why those people are worse to deal with, because they'll not stop complaining. That's why they're fucking worse. Like, trust me, I work in a factory. That shit's real fucking hot some days, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all I fucking hear every 5 minutes is, it's so hot in here. I'm like, I know that. I know that. We all know that. We're all fucking living that right now.
Well, see, that kind of gets to my whole issue with small talk in general, where it's like, those are the type of, like, thoughts that I do not express.
Yeah.
Because I find no point or value in them. but other people do where you know, to like fill the air or whatever. It's like, oh man, weather's looking blah blah blah, and it's like, you didn't need to interrupt this silence with that.
You know, I've gotten better at dealing with that over the years of just being around it all the time, and that is a thing I've learned to live with and get and slightly be able to hold a small talk conversation. It's never my favorite conversation to have or anything like that. But
I can do it, but it causes me near physical pain.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not, again, it's hard. It really is. It's hard. But yeah, like I get more annoyed by the hot people. Because even in the wintertime in there, it's just like, it's like, oh, it's so hot in here. I need a fan. And then they get fans. And then it's like, now this is just, you're just overkilling this.
Don't you touch my fans, Justin.
Oh man, wars have been fucking fought over fans in that fucking place. Let me tell you right now, it's ridiculous.
Dennis75 asks, what happened to the buttons?
They're still here. I still have them. Hold on, let's hit one. Let's see what happens. I don't know what it is.
Don't be impossible.
It was a Shania Twain button. I didn't know what it was. I just flipped to a random. They're still around. We use them every now and then. I just haven't hit them. I don't need them as much. I just say words now. But
you don't think to use them as much is the thing.
That's also a thing. Yeah.
Yes.
If I have a good bit where I need to use them, it's a great option to have.
Yeah.
But so far, been rather
like the true behind the scenes answer is that Justin has a lot going on and hasn't been able to put a lot of like thought into the episodes. Like last week was like incredible. Like that was a Justin like so much of last week's episode was Justin content.
Yeah.
And it was fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah, I can let it all out in one big burst like that, but it has to build up again for a little while. That's just kind of how it goes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the things is once I get my Rodecaster, I just haven't ordered it yet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis. Is that once I start hitting some buttons, hopefully that will reignite. Because like when the show first started, like it was very much like you would like plan some shit that I didn't know about and spring that on me, and then that would in turn cause me to think up something to then spring on you, and then lately it's just been me springing stuff on you.
Yeah.
So maybe once I start hitting some buttons, you'll be like, oh, I've got some buttons.
Right. Exactly. It could go very easily go that way. Yeah.
We got 3 left. I'll go ahead and save those for next episode because somehow we have surpassed the runtime of last week.
I don't know how we did it, but here we are.
I don't know. That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a show, Justin.
I think that's a show, Julian.
Yes. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. Thanks to all of you for listening to the show. If you liked what you heard and you would like more, consider joining the Patreon. The link, as always, is in the show notes.
Yeah, all 41 of you people that are subscribed on Podcast Addict, I see you.
That's right.
Yeah. Get on the Discord, you bums.
That's right. And also, as a little taster for this next Suffer Select, it comes with a fucking 64-page novel.
Yeah.
That appears to be required reading.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to count my time reading against the game time. So I'm not going to cheat that way. But I've already spent almost an hour.
Spoilers, I know I'm not going to read any of it. I know that. I don't care.
Oh, man. Yeah. But look forward to that.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select.
Right.
I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.